Join his OnlyFans.
Yeah. All right. Later, guys. Thanks for tuning in.
Later on. See you on the flip side.
Go to Part B.
Go to Part B. Go to Part B.
Okay, I actually already started Part B 22 seconds ago.
Oh, sweet.
So
We're good to go
let's
then.
See if this actually works. I don't know. Hey, it's working.
Hey, look at that.
Big Spoon before I even made it online, Big Spoon has donated $20. Big Spoon, thank you very much.
Definitely got ourselves a new subscriber.
Yeah. By the way, my notifications way better than yours.
Really?
Yeah. Every time the new donation, I pop up and say, "Ooh, a new donation."
Oh yeah.
It's happening.
I forgot you had that whole thing. So let me close out of OBS here real quick since I'm done streaming, and I'm going to give you the better camera feed. There we go. No signal. What? I was literally just on it. What the crap?
You suck.
Hold on. There we are.
Oh,
Oh,
wait, you can see your floor.
Yeah. No,
Wow.
this is a 10 mil lens.
That is a weird carpet.
It's a tile floor that's meant to look like wood, and then it's a rug over there to help with some sound.
Okay.
And that's the rug in front of my bar.
Probably not the direction I would have went, but whatever.
Definitely got ourselves.
Well, you did go with the brick, so there's that.
Yeah, there is that.
Yeah, so give me that crap. Yeah, this is how close the camera is, by the way.
Wow.
So
That was a hell of a lens.
I love.
All
this
right,
lens.
guys. Welcome to Jeff and Jason Talks Random Crap on Each Other, Part 2. If you were not following this already, we had Part 1 on craft computing side, where we just talked a few tech topics. And now that we are live on my end, I have a possible surprise guest if he is still awake.
He is waiting to join the room, so I'm going to go ahead. Go ahead and let him in. Here we go.
You guys probably know who this is.
I think you've heard of him
out there.
You've probably heard
You
of him.
might have heard of him before. Jerry, aka Barnacules, in the house. What is up?
I think I clicked the wrong button.
Oh, God, you're in the wrong area. This is not my free cams, bro. What is your problem?
I thought this was my OnlyFans account. I didn't expect to see you guys.
Jerry, I have to admit,
I'm surprised you're wearing clothes if that was the case.
Hey, I almost took it off. I was just wondering about TOS over here on the old YouTubes.
Yeah, why are you not wearing your Windows 10 as spying shirt? I'm a little let
laundry
down
day.
right now.
Well, plus
Laundry
this is like, dude, my wife just got me like 6 of these Under Armour super fatty stretchy shirts that are like wicking, like moisture wicking.
Oh, okay.
I'm not even gonna wear my own merch anymore. I'm just gonna sell.
It just helps
people wear this.
It helps you with the stains type of deal?
I don't know, maybe a little bit.
It's kind of little there. Yeah.
I mean, it dries out faster. I usually, hold on here. Let me turn on my little pity fan here. All right, we're good.
Good thing you got that RTX voice rocking, man.
Actually, I don't even have it on right now. I don't think.
Really?
Dude, your RTX voice video just dominated.
That was sweet.
Damn straight it did, bro, man. I don't mess around. It's viral.
Oh, yeah. So I got to say, you told me that you felt like shit, and I basically begged you to come on anyway. So thank you, man. I appreciate it. You woke up rough today, and I appreciate you still showing up for my show. I know it's a big ask, but,
Well, I mean,
you
did pay me a sizable amount of money to be here, so, I would have felt bad.
He also
walked away. So
he also DM'd me about 5 minutes before showtime and said, "So this is not going to be on your channel, right? It's going to be on Jason's."
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to make that clear. I wanted to be on the smaller of the two channels.
Yeah. I'm so close to 100K. I can taste it. But Barnacules, you are literally like, what are you at right now? What's your number?
The same number I've been at for, I don't know, 3 years or so.
I say you've been spitting distance of 1 million for what, 6 now?
So I have a formula. My formula is that I create a video that gets me like 1,000 new subscribers, and then I create another video that loses me about 1,000 subscribers.
I was just about to say that. You seem to bounce, and I really want you, because I have admired your channel for a while. I want to see you hit that million.
Right now I'm at 931,000.
931.
I'm actually positive for the first time in a long. I'm up 633 subs, but apparently that happens when you make videos.
Yeah.
But what happens is every time I do a tech talk, and this is hilarious. I don't know why. But every time I do a tech talk live stream every week, I lose about 600 to 800 subscribers. But then I make a video, doesn't matter what it is, and upload it, and then I gain back about 1,000. So it's like, but I keep doing it because the hell with it.
Dude, it is what it is.
Do what I want to do.
Boo. You do you, boo. Don't worry about everyone else. Like
exactly right.
The herd will thin or grow. It doesn't matter. It is what it is. So I hate to interrupt you guys, but I do have some donations to catch up to because they are out of control right now.
Yeah, damn,
so.
what is going on over here, man? I want
balls.
some of your guys' subscribers.
Yeah, I have some custom,
shit.
pop-ups, so they kind of go a little crazy. So I apologize. J Derp, aka Joshua, however you say his last name. Now the party begins. I appreciate you. Thank you, J Derp, very much. We got Tony, $9.99. Get yourself some Bud Light Seltzer on me, $9.99. God, that is disgusting.
That buys a 6-pack. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, the strawberry, not bad. Barnacules, have you tried the seltzer, the Bud Light Seltzer?
You know, I am not a beer guy, but I will chug it to get drunk.
Not beer.
Like, I'm not a beer guy.
Mine's 11.5 right now. This will get you there quick, man.
Yeah, he's basically chugging wine right now. So.
Oh, dang. You got hitting the mead?
That's pretty much what he's doing. Yeah.
No, it's a barrel-aged stout.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's some dark beer, man.
It poured like motor oil.
Yeah, I actually have a pretty funny story. When I was down at retro gaming convention down in Portland, Oregon, with Metal Jesus, they ended up ordering me these little beers in these fancy little like cups, and I was like, "There's nothing in here. It's like 3 ounces or something." But I didn't know it was 14%. It was like their strongest beer they had. So I was chugging them, and he kept bringing them out. And I swear, after like 3 or 4 of them, I was like, "Man, I'm feeling pretty good." And like 20 minutes later, I'm like, and then he has somebody climb under the table and steal one of my shoes. And so my wife, literally takes one of my shoes off my feet, and I'm too drunk to fight him off. My wife pulls up to pick me up to take me back to the hotel because she knows that I'm just trashed, right?
Still without a shoe. I walk out of the tavern with one shoe on. I had my sock on my other foot, and I walked to the car. My wife's like, "Where's your shoe?" And I was like, I don't know where it went. So I drive back and I get an SMS message on my phone that's like, it's a picture of Metal Jesus holding my shoe, and he's like, we're gonna sell your shoe at the convention tomorrow, so you have to go around and find it before somebody buys it. And this is all in a video on Metal Jesus' channel somewhere. If you guys want to see the adventure of me trying to reclaim my shoe the next day. By the way, I've never seen that before.
By the way, he only
still a shoe.
He only lives about 30 minutes north of me, man. We definitely got to do something together.
Oh yeah, dude, I'm close to him too. So that means we're close. We're
I'm just in Salem.
Oh really? Okay, well you're not far at all. I go down there I used to go down there for PDX land, right?
So, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm in freaking Kansas, so I'm like, on the other side of the planet, basically. But, y'all can do your thing. I just want to watch. That's all. Make a good video, Barnacules. Stay on that horse. Keep going, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, my next video apparently is going to be kicking Streamlabs in the nuts. So that's
oh, dude, I can't wait because I think I'm victim of that. Okay, but before we do that, sorry, Skull. I think Skull's one of yours, right?
Skull's one of mine.
Skull's one of yours. $2. He said, "So I guess we're over here. Wow, Jason is way better than Jeff. I'm so glad I'm here."
No, he said, "So I guess we're over here now." By the way, Skull's my chat admin.
Scott Locke, aka Liquid Cipher, Barnacules in the house. What's up, Scott? By the way, his direct family, either way, his family suffered a loss from COVID-19. So, Liquid, I'm really sorry for that. Like, shit is real, right? So big sorry for that. I do apologize, and that sucks. And hopefully this all goes over. Big Spoon, Jerry is here. Take my money. Love this. $50. Jerry. Oh my God, Jerry, I'm so glad wow. Like, whew, thank you, Big Spoon.
Paid.
I think we can end the stream right there.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. You guys good? No.
I just want some of these people. Yeah, click on my name and do that whole subscribe thing everybody's always talking about over here.
J Derp.
Yeah, but you still have to make the videos, Jerry.
Well, that's my disconnect. That's what I'm working on.
And then Reverend Arrow said, "This is my version of 3 wise men." Well, there's at least 2 wise men here, and I'm here, so I can't really guarantee.
Oh, I was gonna pull myself right out of that equation.
I'm always more than willing to jump on that grenade when it comes to intelligence.
It's all right. In this day and age, intelligence just gets you in trouble.
All right. I'll take both spots. That's all right.
And now we have that guy. No. Oh, well, anyways, so thank you, Jerry, again for joining. And if you feel like you need to dip out, just let me know. I don't want to force you into this. I basically begged you.
No, this is cool, man. I told my wife I'm in here for about an hour. So you guys got me. I can sit here and just look awkward. I don't know if I get too hot, I'll take my shirt off or something. I don't know. I'll do my thing.
Oh, FreeNAS with a $10 donation. You don't have to give him money.
Now I'm sponsored by FreeNAS.
Well, you got FreeNAS in here giving you money?
Yeah, FreeNAS is here hanging out. Actually, we have a question.
They were mine. You know
what'd be funny is if Unraid came in here and dropped 20.
I would love that.
I know, right? Where is Unraid? They would get into a Benny war. Yes. That would be awesome.
I do love FreeNAS though. I ran FreeNAS for many years for my NAS solution.
Okay, what's the? They changed their name to TrueNAS.
TrueNAS. They've always been TrueNAS. TrueNAS was the enterprise level. FreeNAS was the free level.
Really, I did not even know that.
And right now they are in the name transition state. They are turning everything over to TrueNAS, and so you're gonna TrueNAS Core is going to replace FreeNAS as a free version, and then TrueNAS Enterprise will continue as the enterprise supported.
So they're trying to like standardize their name, but
they're rebranding.
Okay,
interesting.
Gotcha.
Well, I didn't know that. I ran them for years as FreeNAS. Obviously, I didn't even know they had an enterprise solution. But now I know, I guess, how they get their funding.
Yeah,
well, TrueNAS. I need a new shirt. So
I are already in the mail. I don't know what your problem is.
That's all I heard.
I know I'm a trader. I use Synology now just because I'm lazy.
Oh.
Okay. Hold on. Hold the phone. That's
I love you guys too, Synology. I do love you guys.
That is actually our third topic, which I'm going to go ahead and move this up to the first topic, and that is Unraid versus FreeNAS, aka TrueNAS, versus a pre-built NAS like Synology, QNAP, that sort of thing.
Yeah, they're so different though.
Yeah,
right?
They're so different in their application of technology. I don't even really consider them like. The only thing similar is that you put data on them and you like retrieve it from an external source. That's about the only thing they really have in common. I mean, the thing I like about FreeNAS, of course, is that it's pretty much open source. It's a Linux. It's based on Linux or BSD, right?
BSD. Yeah, so BSD.
So BSD, it's very easy to set up. It's got broad hardware support. And it is a traditional NAS. Like you can use RAID, you can use traditional striping, traditional file systems.
Yep.
The thing I like about Unraid though is that it seems to have broader hardware support for like high-end NICs, like 10G NICs. Yep. Which is why I ultimately used it in one project over the other. I wanted to use FreeNAS, but unfortunately the hardware compatibility required me to use Unraid. The thing with Unraid though is they're doing something completely different. They're literally not a RAID. They're just an entire bank of disks that are jumping one to the other. So
1995 called and wants its JBOD back.
Yeah, but the thing is, they figured out how to make it fast. That's the part I didn't understand is that everything in my head tells me this is going to be way slower than FreeNAS. But I was able to max out 10G with the build that we actually did just using some SSDs as like intermediate buffering. So I don't know what their little
SSDs though, because there's a lot of flags being thrown up on my end that I like Unraid. I run Unraid. I'm a huge Unraid fanboy, but that's my biggest flaw is it is not fast. Right. And that's where I recognize FreeNAS, aka TrueNAS, and RAID 5 even on my Synology build is that it is way faster using spinning Rust than what Unraid can achieve when it comes to raw write performance.
Yep. Without the SSDs, it's hands down faster. Like you're not going to be like spinning disk with like a RAID 10 or RAID 5 across 10 spinning disks. So no matter. But the thing is, like again, it's the cost, right? If you're building the Unraid solution, then obviously you're paying for license, you're putting more money into the build. You're probably using higher end hardware versus FreeNAS where it's just free, right? You just get it for nothing. So more than likely you're also going to have the money to throw a bunch of SSDs in there and some M2 caching and stuff like that to get the performance. But the other thing is like with FreeNAS, it's like, it's a traditional RAID, which most IT guys are very, very familiar with. They can recover from, they know how it works. With Unraid, I'm like still a little bit confused as to how the secret sauce works because it's not an open source platform.
Right.
So like, what's really going on? I kind of get it. They tell you how their technology works, but I feel like if it fell over sideways and caught on fire, I wouldn't know what the hell to do.
Yeah, you're going, where's the parody actually at?
Exactly. I'm like, what am I doing? Do I replace?
Yeah, actually, Jason and I are actually exactly opposite that, where I actually run some fairly high-end disks for my FreeNAS build, and Jason runs a bunch of shuck disks for his Unraid build.
Yeah, bottom of the barrel drives.
Right.
Weird. Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys should swap hardware, but run the same software.
Pass.
I got way more storage than he does.
Oh, I actually don't have that much. I got
way better guts.
So you know why I ended up leaving FreeNAS, and this was years ago. So I'm sure it's surpassed this hugely. But I had an old rack mount system that I built in. It had like 20 hard drives in it. But the problem was it wasn't FreeNAS. It was the chassis that I built it in. It was impossible to get drives in and out of this thing. There was just drives stacked on top of drives. Everything was screwed in. Only like 4 of the drives came out the front. The rest were all permanently screwed into the chassis.
That's a nightmare.
It was a huge nightmare. And then on top of things, the big things were, so I was using WD greens. We all remember those little gems.
Oh, you rated WD greens?
I rated like 20 WD greens. And I had a drive die like every 3 months. I'd have a drive just completely crap the bed.
Well, that's a green.
It was a bad experience.
It wasn't it died. It just goes, I'm going to go sleep now, okay?
I'm good, bro. You take this.
You know what? Hey, though, credit to Western Digital. They replaced one of those drives over the course of 3 years 11 times.
Wow.
11 times I sent them a drive, and I just checked the box on the website to do the drop shipping. And reason for drive failure, I just go down to the bottom and say other. Never did they ask. Never once. I just get a drive show up, throw the dead one in, mail it back to them, and they would just put the money back on my card. And I was like, I did that 11 times with one of the drives, and never asked a question. Never. So hey, kudos to WD for sending me a new drive like every 2-3 months for years.
I've always loved WD support. I will voice that opinion that I've dealt with them numerous times over the years, both professionally and personally, and they've always been amazing. It's basically a no questions asked. If you purchase the drive within the last 5 years, it's replaced. It's
yeah. But it's like, how does a company make such a crappy drive, but also simultaneously make like one of the best drives there is, the WD Black?
Right. It's literally like
you
we
put
were
them next to each other. One weighs like
though.
40 pounds, right? Another one weighs like 3 ounces, and you're just like, the same company makes these?
Yep.
Yeah. But that's what we were talking about earlier is they make one product or at least a series of products and they take the best quality of those products to build different devices just depending on how it checks out.
Yeah.
You know, like silicon.
Doesn't Western Digital have another company too? Is it
HGST?
HGST, that's right. Because I remember one of my drives that I tried to return, I had to send it to HGST even though it was a WD green.
Yep.
And I think statistically, HGST is more reliable than
HGST has always been near the top, and that's actually what I run in my servers right now is the HGST Heliums.
I haven't ran one of the drives in a really long time. I've been using the Iron Wolves. The
I love Seagate too. Yeah.
Gosh, man, I haven't had a single one. I have 8 of them in my QNAP, and I think I got 12 of them in my new Synology.
Nice.
And I haven't had a single failure and not a single report from Smart saying there was even a hiccup on any of them. And I've had them
that's like
for
a
about
lottery
a year
right there.
Yeah, so I was like, dude, Iron Wolf for the win, man. Now keep in mind, these were drives that were sent to me.
Yes,
with the enclosure, so I'm sure that each one of them was like cherry picked and like perfectly balanced and blueprinted.
We don't want these to fail for a YouTuber.
Exactly. And that's something that I try to fess up to when I do stuff like this. Is like realize when you're getting a product to review and the company sent to you, it's entirely possible that it's like massively cherry picked.
Yes,
not always, but you
sometimes.
can kind of
most
tell
of the time they test it, and you'll get the box and you notice it's opened or like the packaging's not perfect. I've got that too. I'm like, I know they opened this to make sure.
There are 3 fingerprints on this back plate.
Yeah, I see some scratches on that port.
Weird. So weird. Okay, so I'm sorry to do this again. I got to catch up again on these freaking donations. So,
you poor bastard. We feel
I
sorry
know.
I'm gonna get another beer while you're reading. God.
So terrible. Remy said, "Love all 3 of you guys. Thank you very much. We need this to be a regular thing." I don't know. Jerry's pretty busy, and I'm pretty hyperactive. Finn. But thank you for the $5. Finn said, "Jerry in the house, aka take my money, you gorgeous person. Screw sleeping." Yeah, he's from across the pond, so it's like 5 a.m. now for him. So that's crazy.
That's awesome, man. That's dedication.
I know, right? Thanks, Lordy. I appreciate it. Free Nas donated, said, gotta support regardless of the unrated love. Don't worry, Free Nas. I'm going to bring it back and tell you why I like Free Nas. So,
you know why Free Nas is better? Because unrated costs money. Done. That's the only argument you need in today.
I have counter arguments to that, but let's see if there's any more donations here. Big Spoon said, it just lost it. $1.99. Look at Jerry cutting through the bullshit. Thank you very much. You're right. And then he donated again, said $10.
That's why I don't have a million subs, bro.
Which, by the way, if anyone's watching this, go sub to freaking Barnacules right now. We need to get his ass to 1 million. He's been sitting there way too long without 1 million. So get on his shit right now. He says, how many terabytes does each of you have?
Oh, Bat Knife. We got an appearance.
Forever.
No, Bat Knife.
I've never seen it live before.
There you go, man. Held it. Yeah. Hey, this is what's ironic. What were we just talking about? What hard drive were we just talking about?
HGST.
No, the green, the WD green.
Oh, the WD green, yeah.
Okay. Cannibalized greens, neodymium magnets are hot glued under my desk, and that's what holds Bat Knife.
Nice.
One of the drives that finally just croaked and was out of warranty. I just harvested the magnets and glued them under my desk to hold that knife.
That's awesome. Oh, we're Dragon's Milk.
Yeah, I'm opening the Dragon's Milk. Actually, I don't have a freaking bottle opener. I have a knife.
I've got like 3 within arm's reach.
Yeah, well, I'm not you, so let's see if I can like cut myself with this damn thing.
Oh, Free Naz is courting me in chat right now. They're like, I've shared your RTX video about 10 times.
Okay,
I saw that.
Jerry, how many?
All right, I'm throwing the Synology stuff away. I'm building another FreeNAS box. Here we go. Done.
Hey, Jerry, can I come up and build you a FreeNAS server?
Hell yeah,
Don't
you
do it,
can.
it's a trap.
Let's do that.
I would never say no to that. Are you
Let's
You're
do
kidding?
paying
that.
for it, right?
Hey,
Jeff-
Free Nas, let's talk.
Yeah, Free Nas, you get with
Let's make that
Jeff.
happen.
I think this is a deal. Like, we should
I'm
definitely
going to confuse
do this.
so many people, though, because they're going to be like, what NAS solution you were? Well, I got a Synology and a QNAP and a Free NAS, and then Unraid contacts me. I got an Unraid out in the garage.
No, we need to work
Standardization
this
is
up.
for poor people. Like
Free NAS, instead of your $10 donations, which, by the way, I greatly appreciate it. Thank you very much. You should get with Jeff and sponsor a build for Jerry, for Jeff to actually make a road trip up to Seattle and build him a Free NAS.
I'll bring up my Free NAS parts in the back of my Z car. So there we go.
Yeah,
Ooh,
I want to
nice.
see this happen. This would be badass. I think this would be awesome.
Well, I can always use more storage because,
How
I
much
won't
do you
say what
have?
site I'm trying to back up, but I don't have enough space.
How much do you have, Jerry? Total
Right now,
terabytes.
let's see. In my Synology, I think I have 40 terabytes, and I think in the QNAP I have 30. It's close to 30. It's like 28 usable. So it's not a
Gotcha.
ton, but I have some expansion in the Synology. The whole thing is like, once I did the review, which I still haven't done on the Synology, they were going to send me a whole nother set of Iron Wolf drives to max it out.
Yeah.
But right now it's just got my old drives from the old one, which are still working fantastic. So Seagate, hey, shout out to you.
Oh,
Thank you for making a drive that doesn't
No,
suck.
not on this channel. Not on this channel.
are you a Seagate hater over there?
No, not on this channel. Okay, moving on. So,
It's because he shucked everything.
yeah, I am anti Seagate, but it's really an old wound with no real.
I will say WD's lows about here and
I kind of want to hear this story though. Like, how did they wrong him on that level? I got to hear this. What did they do?
I lost. Okay, I had a 500 gig Seagate drive.
That was the
So
problem.
we're talking
all
really
of their
old. Like he
500
just got
failed.
his first pube, and like this is okay.
Right.
I got
Yeah,
you.
yeah. No, this is a long
It hadn't even
time
started
ago.
to curl yet.
But I went through this process. Back when you used to take pictures with cameras,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
like actual like freaking film cameras and take them to Walmart.
Yep.
Yeah, so I did that, and I paid, which at the time was a lot of money, extra money to have them digitize it and put it on CDs, right? Like, CDs go into a drive type of deal.
Yep.
And I stored all of these party pictures, and I threw away all these CDs because I didn't want to be a hoarder. And then I ended up losing so many of my high school party pictures to a failed Seagate drive.
Oh no.
So I mean, really, it's just about the memories. Like this was my own fault. I didn't, back them up. I didn't, handle my data responsibly. But it was a Seagate drive that failed on me.
Back then, though, none of those drives were reliable. I had a Maxwell 500 megabyte that crapped the bed, that took everything with it. Or sorry, not Maxwell. What was it? Maxtor. That's what it was.
Yeah.
And I think didn't Seagate buy Maxtor?
Yes. Yes.
Oh man, this is
I was
just
gonna say
adding to the
that was
story.
Seagate.
Dude, my Maxtor, which was just a rebranded Seagate 500 meg, died. and
Let's
took
not
all my
blame
data.
Seagate. Oh.
Oh man. Oh, that's irony, man.
Oh, that was perfect.
That is
Yeah.
perfect.
That was perfect.
I'm all
Thank
saying
you.
that like all drives from that era sucked, and I had the exact same drive just with a different label on it.
So I'm going back to my original statement. Fuck Seagate.
All right.
WD for life, bro.
I will say Seagate had a massive spate of failures with their 500.11 drives. So they used to name them by their size and then their revision.
Yeah.
And so they had the 250.08 and 250.10 and then the 500.11. The 500.11 is one of the most notoriously quick failing drives ever made.
To be fair, it was the cheapest drive. Like when I went and bought it, it was the cheapest 500 meg drive by like a good 20%.
Yeah, it was like $60 when everything else was 90 and 100. I mean,
so that's why I bought it, and you get what you pay for, right? They probably knew it was a piece of crap, so they lowered the price. But I'll tell you
how
what,
much my Seagate was, but it was the cheapest.
The most unreliable drive I've ever owned in my entire life, though, was a 1 gigabyte Bigfoot, the Quantum Bigfoot.
Oh wow,
you remember that?
Quanta.
What?
Was it Quanta? I thought it was
Quanta. I thought it was Quanta.
So Quanta.
Yeah.
It was that giant freaking drive that had like one platter in it or something like that. They all failed.
Like 90?
I had a Quanta 1.2 and it was still running when I finally got rid of it. But
because I remember they made the Bigfoot and then they made the Fireball, and the Fireball was ironically named properly because it ran so freaking hot. But the Bigfoot was the highest failing drive I've ever seen. When I worked at a little mom and pop computer store called Mothersboard Computers. I know, greatest name ever, right?
Circa 1995.
And every computer that came in,
that would have been 92.
Yeah, they all had Bigfoots. Every one of them had Bigfoots in them. They were all dead.
They were all dead. Well, okay. Before we go,
Oh, it was Quantum.
Quanta.
Yeah, I thought it was. Yeah, it was Quantum. Quanta was another company.
Okay, so there's Quanta and there's Quantum.
Yeah, because I was like, I know that drive well. I've seen like 1,000 of them fail. It was the Quantum Bigfoot. Let me just look it up really quick. I want to see.
Okay.
Yep, that's it. Yeah, it's
you're
just
right.
this
You're right.
massive freaking pancake drive, and they were such garbage. Oh my gosh.
Have you
they had
ever-
one that
and
went
they
up to
ran hot.
2.5 gig.
Have you ever seen a 5.25 inch hard drive?
Yes, I have.
Yes.
Yes.
Compact.
Matter of fact, I had
used-
one, a 40 megabyte from, I think it might have been Seagate. I think it was
Compact-
actually.
Compaq used some in the late 90s in their Pentium 2 machines. I had an 8 gigabyte 5.25 drive.
That's crazy.
Okay.
They were heavy too. I remember
Yeah, they
those things
were.
were massively heavy.
Have you ever unplugged one of those? I saw one of those before, and I unplugged it while it was up and running, and that thing stayed spinning so long. Like, and it would just kind of like you know, you've ever held a hard drive, but it would take so long to spin down.
I would never treat my hard drives like that.
Well, I was young, I was dumb.
Yeah, the whole gyro effect.
You know,
Yeah.
yeah. I was like, oh,
Where'd my high school pictures go? I don't know
Where'd my high
pictures
school
went.
party pics go?
When you
Go
bang it on the
figure.
desk, it makes a grindy noise.
The hell with a fidget spinner.
Yeah.
No, the
All right.
biggest drive I ever had was on my 28612. It was a Laser Pal 286 from Sears, and it had a 40 megabyte. I thought it was a Seagate, but maybe it wasn't. But it was that drive that was about this tall.
God, yeah,
about
I
this
had one of
wide.
those.
Yeah, and it was like, and it looked like it was like a gyro sealed in a giant metal cast casing. And when
Yeah.
you turn the computer on, it would do this. Boop.
Yeah.
Then it'd go because you'd hear the little arm.
Yeah, finally the arm starts going.
Yeah.
And I do remember that drive because I had that computer for about 4 years, and I remember the drive got so worn out that it couldn't get up to speed. So it'd do this thing where it'd go, and you just whack the side of the case as hard as you could, and then it would finally get over that
Oh,
hump and spin
God.
up the rest of the way.
And the bearings would go, oh, okay, I'm good.
Dude, I kept the computer alive for literally another year, just wailing on the side of the case.
I had that
It's just
exact
whacking
same
the
drive,
side.
man. The reason I know that story is I had that exact drive.
It was just funny because it was like, it would just sit there and go,
Don't do that.
woo, and you just bang on it, and then you'd hear it get over the hump, and it'd be like, woo, woo, woo.
Shut up, bitch. Shut up. Shut up.
But no,
He's
it sounded like you're sitting in an airport terminal and a jumbo jet is starting the
Exactly.
terminal over. That's exactly what it sounded like.
Yep. You could hear it from the other side of the house. Like it was so loud. And the older it got, the louder it got too, which
Yeah.
was the funny thing. Cause I think that bearing as it was wearing out,
Yeah, the
you were
bearing
getting like
was
an
going out.
oscillation.
Yeah.
And it, oh man, it was this high pitched squeal. And I remember it would like wake people up in the house if I booted the computer up while they were sleeping. So man, computers have come a long ways, haven't they?
Yes.
Dude, and they change so fast, man. That's the crazy thing. It's like you wake up one day and you think, holy crap, SSDs, NVMe's,
Yeah.
PCIEs, like it's just evolving so quick and speed is just getting so
Yep.
fast. And you realize like how spoiled you are compared to like what you used to have.
Compared to
Yeah,
where
so
we
I had
dial-up-
somebody shame me for 1.5 gig a second transfer. Like, oh, is that all you got, pleb? Like, oh, is there something better than that now? Yes. by
really?
a lot.
I grew up on 28.8, bitch. You know, that's kilobits, not gigabits.
I'm gonna age you, bro. My first modem was a 2400 baud, and that was cutting edge. That
See,
just came out when I got my computer.
you got me
Wow.
beat. Mine was a 9600. I
You know
was
what the carrier
screaming.
tone was? My
Yeah.
carrier tone was literally that was it. Like
Yeah.
there was none of that like the 2880 connected 2400.
Dude, your RTX voice is kicking in. It keeps like cutting you off. It's hilarious.
Oh, is it
It's
cutting
the
me
best.
off? Or
Yeah.
Only when you make the noise, not when you're talking.
Oh,
Your
it
quant-
is on. It
your
is
quant-
on.
Your
That's
Quanta
okay.
startup was amazing because it was like we heard half of it and then it
Yeah,
stopped
you're like,
the tones, and then when you got up to the it was up again.
There, I just turned it off. Can you guys hear all the background noise now?
No, you're still good.
no, you sound
Oh,
great.
really?
Yeah,
it's
I
not
just
cutting
I
off
disabled
anymore.
it. No RTX voice now.
That was
Now,
funny.
now I can
though.
do it
all
properly.
those,
I can go.
all those sound effects.
There you go.
All right, before we move forward, guys, sorry. Big Spoon, $9.99.
He gets so many
terabytes?
donations.
I
It's
know,
sad.
right?
I know.
How
I'm like,
many
is this
terabytes do
possible?
we
You got
have?
like half the viewership of me, and you've already made enough to send your kid to college.
I know.
I'm embarrassed. I'm doing it
now,
wrong.
now I just need a kid. Don't worry, I'll just donate it to you so Xander can go to a good college.
There you go. Fair enough.
All right, Jeff, how many total terabytes do you have? Because I have 384-ish.
Less
What do
than
you
that.
have? Come on, bro.
20.
20?
20.
Like
That's
in
it.
I'm
one
not
drive?
the lowest spec
That's
guy
it.
here.
Oh, I got 20 terabytes.
Oh my.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's my raw storage is 20.
Okay, we're gonna move
Now,
past that
to be
embarrassment.
fair, I have 6 terabyte drives in a ZFS or in a RAID Z2, which is essentially a RAID 6, and so I get about 24 terabytes out of that. And then I also run a RAID 0 backup solution with also 2 6 terabyte drives in it for 12 terabytes of just backing up like my channel footage. So I have like 36 terabytes, but I only use like 20.
What, you back up your channel footage to RAID 0?
I do.
Living dangerously, my
RAID
friend.
0.
Jerry, I said backup. The primary is on the ZFS too.
So that's your high speed access to it.
Yeah,
And you
RAID
mirror it to
0.
something. Okay,
Yeah, high speed access is RAID 6.
Because I was getting worried there because I made that mistake before where I'm like, I'm going to raid all my SSDs for performance. Then a year later, I'm like, all my data's gone.
Linus throws 24 of them in a single array.
Dude, Puget Systems shamed me on Twitter when I did that because they told me not to do that when they built me the computer, but I was reinstalling Windows and I'm like, oh, what the hell? I want to see if I can get up to like 10 trillion gigabytes a second.
You go, I got to do it once. God damn it.
You got to try.
Yeah, I made it like 4 months and like I had one problem with one of the SSDs. Yeah. And it didn't, all I had to do was like, oh no, I reflashed one of the SSDs. That's what it was. And it wiped it.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait a second, I don't have parity. So it just took out all the data on the other 3 drives. And I was like, no, I felt so bad.
Okay, sorry to keep cutting you off, guys, but we got another $10 donation. Says, hey, 3 wise guys, Houston would be a great halfway point, beer and distance between Oregon and Kansas. That's Houston?
Houston is further east and further south.
Yeah, that's not a good halfway point. That's a terrible halfway point.
And you got to figure Jerry's in Washington, so yeah.
Convince Jerry to do a free NAS versus Unraid video. Ooh. Do it.
Well, I got experience with both, so I could do that. I mean, I just built Jay's 2 cents on Unraid.
Yeah, we saw your Jay video.
Yeah.
So, Jerry.
I also saw him try to splice cable. Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
He tries, guys.
He tries. He tries really hard. He tried really hard.
Scott Locke, aka Liquid Syphilis, says, Jerry, as a fellow STI owner, JDM or USDM?
Ooh, I actually answered him in chat, but it's going to be USDM because displacement, baby.
Yeah, no replacement for displacement.
Here in the US, 2.5 liter is what we get. Lower revs, more displacement. In Japan, they get 2 liter, higher revs, lower displacement. They both make about the same power.
Yep.
Nice.
But I prefer my engine girthy.
Well, see, I got 3.5 and high revs, so I got a little bit of both going on.
Nice.
Another $9.99 for Big Spoon.
Oh, nice.
He said, hey, Jerry, can get more B&B videos on your channel. Loving that. And I think that, no, I didn't. Another Big Spoon. Part 3 on Jerry's stream, for $1.99. Thank you very much, Big Spoon. Did that catch me up? Yes, it did. Okay, now we can continue. Sorry.
Oh, they told me to turn on the FreeNAS, telling me to turn on the vacuum. I don't think I have it plugged in right now, or I totally would.
My RTX voice is on, so I can bang my jigger on the table.
Actually, we hear that just fine.
You hear it, but oh no, that's right, because I'm on Zoom now. That's right. So in OBS it was RTX voice, but in Zoom it's not. So.
Here, I'll show you guys the real test. Okay, don't judge me.
Is that a vibrator? That is totally a vibrator.
My back gets a little sore, and other things too. Don't judge me. Don't judge me, bro.
Okay.
No judgment.
Yeah, totally judging.
Okay.
The shoulder gets really jacked up.
All right.
Did you guys hear that, by the way, or did it actually work?
When you hit the microphone, it was loud, but
yeah, it's pretty abrupt, so it can't tune it.
It can't get ahead of it.
Yeah. But it's still way better though. I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, it wasn't even on the RTX voice. Hold on.
No, it had to.
I'm on the RTX voice. Now I am.
Oh, there you go.
What?
Now it's working.
Holy crap! Because we didn't hear any background noise. We didn't have. You said you have your fan on. We didn't hear any background noise. Are you about to take a shot, Jeff?
No. So I'm gonna.
Is that RTX voice?
Yeah, that's with RTX voice on.
Dude, I love this software. This is the best software.
Yeah,
it's free. I mean, assuming you have an RTX card.
Right, assuming you paid out for an RTX card.
Yeah.
Do you guys know the little backstory about why we got this?
Why?
I'd love to
hear it. The reason we got RTX voice now instead of when it was complete was because of our little friend, the human malware, which we cannot say on YouTube because of SEO purposes.
Yes.
The little human malware.
I want to be seen still, Jerry. Thank you.
I know. Yeah, I know the game. I know how to play the game. So yeah, no. Anyways, Nvidia wasn't going to release it. It wasn't even close to being released. They just thought because so many people were using Zoom and doing video conferencing through Skype and stuff, they thought that this would be a really good boom and draw a lot of attention to it because of the uptick in people using video conferencing. So they decided to just release it kind of as like an open free beta. That's why they artificially like locked out everything but RTX, and then everybody figured that out with an XML hack. But
yeah, that was like 5 minutes after release. It was like,
really
oh,
was.
by the way.
I got an RTX voice hacked email before I got an RTX voice release email. I'm not even kidding.
$5.
I got the official.
You,
I got the official NVIDIA email about 20 minutes after Hackaday had RTX voice installed on a GTX.
That's so funny. That's so funny. I got on a call with him and actually told him, I was like, dude, next time tell your developers to like not put the block in the XML file.
Yeah, why
compile
restrict
it,
that?
bake it in.
That is literally just so you sell RTX, and it's so blatantly obvious when someone can hack it in like 5 seconds.
Yeah. And when I'm looking at it and going, the tensor cores aren't doing shit.
Yeah.
Weird.
Well, the final version, the goal is to optimize it for tensor so that it doesn't slow down the frame rate of games that you play. But the current version that they're shipping now that works almost flawlessly
is working on CUDA.
It just works. It just works fine. But just expect it. They are going to internally lock it down to RTX in the final version, as far as I know. So.
See, I have an issue with RTX voice with Discord because I play Discord over the loudspeakers. I don't use a headphone when I'm just talking on Discord normally. So I get a lot of reverb, echo, and like some anomalies that comes from it. So that's just a personal experience I have with it. But it does perform phenomenally well compared to,
the biggest trick to it is you need to make sure that any internal processing in the program that you're using is completely disabled. So if you have like noise filtering or attenuation of volume or anything, disable all that stuff in Discord, disable it in Skype, because if you don't, then their algorithm's fighting the constant volume change of the background noise. So
their algorithm is already cutting the peaks off of your sound wave. And so RTX voice doesn't know what the hell to do with that.
Exactly. So the best way to get it to work is literally to disable every bit of processing that's in the program. And some of the programs, unfortunately, have noise canceling and stuff that you can't disable. It's like just baked into the program. And in that case, they try to add filters into RTX voice that will kind of combat that, but they've been not very successful. So
that was actually part of the RTX voice thing. It's like during the installation, it says disable other, utilities that are trying to do this noise cancellation, or you're going to have a negative effect. So.
Absolutely.
Big Spoon $4.99. Jerry, can we say hi to you really quick on the Byte My Bits Patreon Discord after the stream? Some of your biggest fans. Big Spoon, I appreciate the donation. Thank you very much, but we're not going to try to drag Jerry into our Discord. So thank you very much, though.
I can't be seen there, guys. Like literally, it'll ruin my reputation.
If he shows up, then all of a sudden rumors.
He's going to lose another 1,000 subs, and then just
it's just it goes downhill. Yeah, it gets bad. It gets.
I got to keep it at 931,000 for another 6 years.
You can jump onto mine. You won't gain any subs there.
Just give me the link.
All right. Okay. So the original question I asked, Unraid versus free NAS versus a pre-built NAS. My argument for Unraid was cost, because even though you have to pay for Unraid, you still can add drives as you go, and you can add any drives you want as you go. So in the grand scheme of things, Unraid can technically be cheaper.
Yes.
But free NAS performance is second to almost none. But that's the argument when it comes to Synology, because I just got a Synology in with 6 drives, and that thing is damn fast.
And it's like the easiest thing on earth to set up. It's like literally just out of the box, give it power, you're done. Like there's really nothing you need to do.
Point and click, you're done.
How many drives do you want parity on? Cool, let's go.
Great, let's do this. Like, what do I do now, bro? Like, we're set up. We're done. We're good to go.
Like, realistically, you don't even have to know that much. Like, with the latest Synology I plugged in, it's like, oh, we've detected this many drives. Do you want us to make the decision on how your space is used, or do you want to make the decision? So, it's so user-friendly to, like, people that don't even know what a NAS is.
So, with that in mind, Jerry, then, if someone was to say, hey, if you needed a performance-based NAS, would you take a pre-built, Synology, QNAP, whatever, some brand, or would you take a free NAS build if you're going to have the same amount of hard drives?
That's a tough one. Again, depending on the chassis, if I had a really good chassis where I had physical access to the drives, because that's a big selling point for Synology, is I can just pop the stuff right out of the front and just go to town.
It's equal. Let's say it's equal.
If it's equal, then I would probably go with something like a free NAS that I could just build one giant RAID and max out the storage on the device from the get-go.
So
later on, if I need to build it up, then
just the bits.
Exactly.
I'll say FreeNAS just said, by the way, that feature is coming to ZFS too.
What, easy use?
Expansion?
Expansion.
expansion.
Nice. I was wondering when that was going to happen.
That's a big deal.
That's a big deal. Yeah.
That's the one thing that holds a lot of people to Unraid is going, I can just go down to Best Buy and buy 2 more drives and pop them into my array and I'm good to go.
That is
versus
a
with
ginormous deal.
Versus with ZFS and FreeNAS, you really have to be ready to go from the get-go. So it's a much heavier front forward investment for setting up a FreeNAS.
And if you want to expand it, you have to add an equal amount of drives.
Right.
I'm curious how they're going to do that though. Like with a true raid with parity, how they're going to be able to just tack a drive on there and like be able to rebuild it.
Yeah,
in
with
place.
my understanding of ZFS, I have no idea how they're going to do that. But
It's
I
magic.
also
I
don't
don't know anything
understand how
about ZFS.
Unraid dual parity works either. So, single parity, I
get it a
understand.
little
dual
bit.
parity, I don't.
Yeah. Dual parity.
That's a game changer for FreeNAS.
It really is.
Like if they can make it dynamically expandable while getting the benefit of a raid, then Unraid becomes a lot less relevant at that point.
Yeah. And when it comes to FreeNAS performs like so much better. And there's a lot of ZFS benefits like the file.
And I'm taking your word for that because
that.
my FreeNAS build, I think it was severely under CPU'd. It was an integrated board. It was one of those Asus 1000 megahertz Cyrix integrated processor.
Yeah.
The damn thing was just too slow. Like
how was your Cyrix chip inside of there, man?
Dude, it was so crappy. My God.
Yeah,
dude, the
I
whole
think
board
that's a
was
hardware
like this
thing.
big. It was like a micro ITX board because I needed the space for the hard drives.
I'm pretty sure that was a hardware spec thing.
I'm
As a
pretty sure it
whole,
was too.
like you're basically like if you do a ZFS 1 or ZFS 2, it's basically RAID 5, RAID 6.
Yeah.
And that is definitely going to perform way better than the single drive performance of an Unraid system. Hands down. Right? Whether it's writing or reading, there's no way around it. There's no performance, there's no way that you can outdo a FreeNAS or a RAID performance with an Unraid build.
Right.
But you can't expand a FreeNAS build. So that's my biggest deal with Unraid.
Yeah, if that changes that, I would completely change my opinion, and that would be the number one solution.
Especially if it performs like that. Yeah, FreeNAS performs so well, and ZFS has a ton of benefits to switch to versus an Unraid setup.
Yeah, I actually don't know much about ZFS. I mean, I know it's been around for a very, very long time, but I've never really looked into it.
Well,
best feature ever of ZFS is snapshots. Honestly,
that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, snapshots is basically like real-time backup where. Obviously, everyone's keeping good backups, right?
Yeah.
Right? Everyone is.
Yeah. Even with all my houses, I'm still guilty.
Right?
Backups.
You can enable ZFS snapshots, and what it does is you can say, I want every 3 hours you to take an image of what my hard drives look like right now. And at any point, you can go back as far back in time as you want to reach and pull up that same version or pull up a different version of that same file.
At what point do they start dying off though? Like,
I have mine set for like 6 months and I take hourly backups.
You know what that sounds like? That sounds like almost a file system integrated volume shadow copy in NTFS.
What's really funny is it works with volume shadow copy inside of Windows. It uses the same previous versions tab that Windows does.
Weird. Okay.
And I did not know that. It is very cool.
But that's one of the biggest benefits of ZFS though, is being able to go back and get those files. If you override a Word document, or Excel document or whatever.
Dude, the hell with a Word document, like you get taken over by the Nigerian scammers and they ransomware your box. You know?
So we run FreeNAS on a couple of different file servers for my organization, and we got crypto locked one time. I fixed it in 13 minutes.
Woo!
Yeah, that'd be the biggest benefit. Right. Like right now, I mean, I use Windows Sandbox, and now Windows latest version of Windows 10 I think has something called what's it called? It protects the file system by basically mirroring a fake version of the file system. So anything that tries to run at an elevated privilege thinks it's messing with files that it shouldn't be messing with. Right. But it's actually not. You just reboot the box and it just
then Windows goes, I don't need those anymore.
Exactly. Honestly, but it's not 100%. I also like how they removed syskey. Wasn't that great? They're like that was their solution to it. They're like, everybody was syskeying the boxes to encrypt them with these ransomwares. They're like, nobody uses syskey anymore. Let's just delete it. Right. And it just rendered them all useless. Like every single scam script kiddie out there, just done. Pull one binary out that nobody uses and it just fixed everything. I was like,
one thing I will say though, with the Synology NAS that I get, basically full disclosure, I was sponsored by Synology and Western Digital to make a video with like 84 terabytes. Yeah, well, you too. So,
dude, I got a Synology sitting over there. I didn't pay for.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. So I got a Synology and Western Digital thing, and they have an active backup software that backs up literally everything in my house, and now I have stuff that's actively, as the name says, backed up either nightly, weekly, or bi-weekly.
Synology's services are like vast. That's the one thing I do
Yeah,
like about it. It's like you can
awesome.
get Cloud Drive, you can get something for just backing up your pictures, something for backing up your music. It's like they have all these independent programs for whatever you want.
Dropbox and Drive integration for various files. Yeah.
So
that's
amazing.
What you're paying for. That's what you're paying for.
I have a lot less stress knowing that exists.
Yeah.
You know, like opening a file. You know what? Fuck it. What's the worst that could happen? I lose my computer. I'll reboot from fucking 12 a.m. You know, like not a big deal.
And their parts are fairly like available too. Like I blew a power supply out in my first Synology after like 4 years, and I was able to like easily source one off Amazon. Like they're not so exotic that you can't find them. And that was my biggest problem is I was like, oh my God, if this thing fries, am I just like done? But I was looking at parts availability for these things, and it's actually not too bad. So if you like blow out the back plane or I mean, there's like 2 or 3 things that can go wrong where it's like game over. You have to replace the unit. But the things that normally go wrong, like back planes just wearing out, or the power supply blown up, it's like you can buy those parts relatively inexpensively. And I was like, okay, I like that. I really do like that. Or QNAP's one people don't talk about very much. That's very Synology friendly, not as polished by a long shot though. Yeah. But it's like a little PC. Like you crack it open, you look at it, it's like there's nothing in there that's scary. It's like you can put in PC cards, you can use regular network interface cards, whereas with
it's
Synology,
got a 24-pin ATX power supply.
Exactly. Exactly. It's very, very user friendly.
I feel like QNAP doesn't really market as much as Synology does because
like nobody even knows who they are.
I've had multiple requests from Synology. I've worked out multiple things like in dealing with Synology. I've only had one email from QNAP before.
What's really funny is I just got an email from QNAP about 3 weeks ago, and I do have a product of theirs waiting for review. But it's a different device. It is really a different device.
Oh God! Don't tell me it's that freaking switch / NAS / router bullshit.
It's actually worse.
God, it is.
It gets worse than that, dude. So my QNAP, the one that I have, literally has an HDMI out. It runs Plex. It becomes your media center. You can even put a TV tuner card in it. It becomes your stereo. It literally has RCA stereo left and right out with a sound card. It's literally a fully built like computer. Mine's
not that one. Mine's a 20. Mine is a 24 port PoE switch with a Celeron quad core system built into it. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure I said no to this.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure I said no to this. I'm like, no, that's fucking weird. I don't know what I would do with it. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to pass.
So you know what I'm gonna do?
Like a RAID level NAS solution into a managed network switch.
No, do you know what I'm gonna do with it? You know what I'm gonna do with it? I'm gonna put pfSense and a Unify controller on it.
Oh, there you go.
And so now you have a 24 port PoE switch with pfSense and Unify running all on one box, on a 1U box.
You're like, QNAP, what's the one thing you're selling with this product? Oh, the software? Be gone.
Be gone. Go away.
You gone.
That's right.
I'm installing Mac OS on this bitch.
Oh, low below. Damn. You just went savage.
They're not bad though. I played with the QNAP and I played with my Synology. The Synology definitely gets higher throughput though on 10 gig. Like I hit some bottlenecks with the QNAP, but I mean, as a device, it's cheaper than the Synology for the same amount of bays and everything like that. And it technically, if you want to use it in your home entertainment system, and monitor it through like just a monitor without having to connect to it remotely. It's actually kind of a clever device, and it looks like it was built to go into like an entertainment center with a stereo and stuff like that. So I do like those aspects of it, but you can tell that there's like an identity crisis going on there. They don't really know what they have. Yeah. You know, it's like Synology's like, I'm just a NAS. Don't ask me anything else. I store data. If you want me to do anything else, it's a software package you install on the back end and utilize it somewhere else. QNAP's like, we're going to build a computer that's also a NAS and a refrigerator and a lawnmower. And
but what's funny is they're throwing really good hardware at it, but they don't know what to do with it once it's in there.
Yeah, plus their software definitely isn't as polished. It's not as polished, but it's decent. It's like it's still very user friendly, but it's like Synology when you log into the web page and you're using the web page, every browser it works flawlessly. The QNAP, depending on which browser you log into, fonts are a little different and stuff. You can tell it just doesn't have the spit and polish that Synology does.
Dude, Synology
but it's also not the price.
Their DSM, their software is amazing. I'll give them that. It is super easy and it runs really smooth, and for the most part, it's almost flawless. So
they updated a lot too, which is the thing I like, because I get really worried with products that have, especially when it's storing your data, they don't have regular updates and regular maintenance. Like some people frown on that and they're like, oh man, it's so broken they have to fix it all the time. But the way I look at it is when they find a security flaw, I want their software delivery cycle to be so short that they're fixing that before anybody really has a chance to find you on the internet and exploit.
Anyone can take advantage of it. Go to that freaking, what was that, Network Showdown or whatever.com. It's like, oh, let's browse, see who has this port open.
Yeah, and Synology actually had a pretty big security breach. I don't know how many people were affected by it, but they released an update really quickly. I want to say it was within a week of them even knowing that this flaw could be exploited. I don't even know if it was ever successfully exploited, but there was a package that you could install. I can't remember which one from their library, and it wasn't even their package. It was like a third-party package that was approved on the Synology store. Yeah. And if you installed that and you had that running, and I think it might have been like something like Plex or something like that, then you could actually remotely connect. If your router wasn't properly firewalled and you had a DMZ.
Oh, you're talking about Tatali. Maybe.
Yeah, I think so. And you could literally break in and basically root the NAS and gain access to all of its data out on the internet with no password, no username.
Yeah.
And but apparently nobody complained. Like, I think it was something that was found internally that they fixed really quickly before anybody could actually figure out how to do it. So I'm like, kudos to them for doing that, because Microsoft is the other way. Microsoft's like, oh, 10,000 computers hasn't been breached yet? Okay, we're just going to go ahead and not worry about this until it's 10,000 computers.
Are we going to get sued? No?
Exactly.
Okay, cool.
That's 0.001% of our user base. It's, we'll just write that settlement check in 3 years. That's not a big deal.
That just brings me right to Fight Club, like where he's on the airplane. He's like, look, the cost of lawsuits versus the cost of fixing. That's my job to analyze this. Like, that's all it is. Like, is it worth it to mess with it? Synology, they just kind of take the bull by the horns right away.
Well, I worked at Microsoft for 15 years, and I'll tell you what, they would not touch an external bug unless there was at least 10,000 instances of it in the Watson database.
So that was their threshold. They had an actual threshold.
Yeah, like you wouldn't even show up in the list. You wouldn't even acknowledge the meeting unless the automated system could connect 10,000 failures over a certain period of time. And I think they've even upped that number on certain types. Like, it's different thresholds depending on the type of bug. But it was really, really bad. Like, people would be reporting, or if it was publicly known. That was the other thing, is if like people were spamming forums and it was becoming a big issue in like the MSDN forums, then they would escalate it up to the top of the list. But the biggest problem with the online crash analysis stuff is you can literally have the same bug look completely different in every single crash. So the automated system looks at all the little stack traces and stuff and says, oh, they don't look the same, so they're all unique issues. But the reason why they look unique is because like one little piece of data changed between them. Right. But they are, if you look at them as a human and you're looking at them as a developer, you can tell they're all the same issue, but the system's not smart enough to do that.
Right. This is the same program running. Yeah, same program running into the same issue, but 70,000 different variations of hardware.
Exactly. Right. And you have like 1 million instances of one bug each, and nobody ever catches on to it until internally we hit it. And then we're like, oh, let's go check the database and see how many times this thing's been hit. Oh, 40 million times. Stuff like that was pretty common, actually.
I'm sorry, just to clarify, you
just got really good.
Microsoft?
I did.
You
Barnacules,
yeah. Did you guys see my nice strategically placed plaque here with every product?
Holy crap!
I did,
dude.
Yeah, everything from Windows XP all the way to 8.1.
That's weird. Dude, you must be smart.
Dude, I'm very smart. I have an IQ of at least 2 digits. At least.
All right, to catch up on some things here. What's your opinion on Rock Store? $2 of NZ. I don't know what Rock Store is. I don't know how to comment.
I have no clue.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. Martin
Rock
commented
Store or Rockstar?
He said store.
Store? No idea.
$9. Hi, are the WD Red SMR bad for Unraid? Probably
I don't think anything's bad for Unraid.
Yeah, not for Unraid, but for FreeNAS it is.
For FreeNAS, yes.
Yeah, don't do anything like that. Big Spoon, another $4.99. Dude, calm down, bro. Calm down. He says, we love you almost as much as the stream Jason had with Riley Reid. Can we get all of you to Flash?
What I love is in response to that, Scott says, I don't know what to do with that super chat. And FreeNAS said, don't judge.
Wait. What's this? Jason had a stream with Riley Reid? I don't know who that is, but
I don't know who that is.
I don't know who that is.
What?
I don't know.
She sounds nice.
Yeah, don't worry about that. That was just a random person I met.
Sir, I salute you. I don't know who that is, though.
Yeah, I mean,
never heard of her.
Random person. Basically, just met her randomly on the street.
Yeah, I have no clue.
Oh yeah.
Don't Google that.
New subscriber.
I did have some questions in here that we pretty much blew past with our banter, which I love.
Hit it.
Jerry, I want to know, what's a video that you made, produced, edited, but never uploaded or published?
Ooh, that's
and
a good
why?
one.
And why?
That's a good one.
I want to know.
Oh, that's actually like a really tough question, because I want to say that there's a fair amount of them, but most of them didn't upload just because the video was shot and like some new evidence came to light or something like that changed the entire story.
Yeah.
So I ended up just aborting.
But not for that reason, but for like a real reason. Like you went hard balls to the wall, like I'm going to do this, and then you change your mind because of some like real legit reason.
You know what? It would have to be the code. I did a CodeGasm episode on how to program plugins for the Stream Deck. And I spent 3 days with another dev who was a friend of mine, and we went through and we recorded the entire thing. I went through and edited. I'm not going to say I completed it. I got to about 80%. And then I chose not to actually finish it and upload it because I just didn't like the end result. Like we spent way too much time, like kind of dicking around, getting it to work. And it just did not have the same flow as the other CodeGasms that I produced that people really liked, that were super fast paced and in real time. It felt more like it was
follow.
Yeah, very easy. It was just all over the place, and it was way more complicated than it needed to be. And I could have edited it down, but it just didn't have the same flow. So I was like, you know what? I didn't like the end result. I'm just going to go ahead and shoot it again later. And then I never did.
That's what I liked about your CodeGasm. I'm not even a coder, but your CodeGasm is easy to follow. Like even for like on my level, when I'm not a coder, I'm just like, you know what? If I wanted to, I could follow this. So
the whole point of that series was just to get people comfortable with coding that didn't even know what it was. Like everything from just here's what Visual Studio is, and let's not use terminology like polymorphism and multiple inheritance and stuff like that. Like let's just go through it and talk about it using human speak. And let you figure it out later. And one of my biggest things about programming is if you want to learn how to program, grab code that's already out there. There's lots of it on GitHub.
And modify it.
Just modify it and see what happens.
And learn how to use it. Learn what your modifications actually affect the program itself.
Yeah, you'll learn.
When you break it, you'll learn. Yeah.
Yep. No, that's as a matter of fact, when I worked at Microsoft as a software developer, most of my education and the higher learning of programming when I was there was working on the Windows project and having access to all of the source code for Windows. I could literally be like, oh, I need to write something for the network. I'm going to go open up the network driver and look at the code. I'm going to go and open up these other apps and these test tools that do kind of the same things that I want, or little bits and pieces, pull those in, understand how they work, and then migrate them into my stuff. And after a while, you just start learning how everything works. You start remembering what APIs do what. And it's actually, that's a really good way to learn, because then you commit it much better to memory than, say, just reading it out of a book and then having to keep going back to the book.
Or cutting and pasting out of GitHub and going, I still don't understand how this function works, but I'm going to put it in my code because I've been told this is how it works.
Yeah, as long as it's GPL, go for it.
Yeah. Well, this goes to an argument that I told my cousin. Like, I was arguing with my cousin. My cousin is a really good at mechanics and engine and stuff like that. I'm like, dude, there's a difference between knowing how to do something and understanding how something is done.
Huge.
Because he doesn't know how to do everything with an engine, but he understands on a root level how engines work. So even if he doesn't know, he could probably fix it. So like me, I understand how computers and software and Windows and stuff like that works. So even if I don't know how to do it, I could probably figure it out. But that's because I understand it. There's a big difference between knowing how to complete a task and actually understand how that task was completed.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's
and there's different times where it's necessary and it's not, right? It's like if you're ever only going to do something once, you don't necessarily need to learn everything. But if you're going to be a software developer, hey, it doesn't hurt to understand how a microprocessor works.
You have to understand it. Exactly.
Especially if you're debugging. Like if you have a lot of bugs in your code, if you don't understand how the architecture works, you'll be chasing your tail for a really long time.
Well, for my video, I actually had I was getting into the webcams or security cameras, and I had a security camera. I get spam like probably half a dozen emails a week from security camera, not like knockoff brands anyways. So I accepted this one security camera review. I tested it. It was a pile of flaming garbage, and I recorded a video saying it sucked like the worst balls ever known to exist. And I decided not to publish it because it was so vulgar. It was so terrible. I emailed them, said I'd send it back, and they said I'd have to pay to send it back. So I threw it away.
I actually had a similar experience with Robo 3D, the 3D printer company.
3D printer.
Really?
I spent an entire week shooting a video, and I sent them the video for review before I posted it, and they were like, "Nope, this is not acceptable. You're exposing too many problems with the printer."
Like it has the problems,
right? And they sent me 3 different printers throughout the week, overnight mail, because each printer I unboxed had a different set of problems.
Oh,
tell that there was no quality control. And so at the very end, I did the exact same thing you did. I didn't edit any of the video at that point. I was just shooting the video. I had a week invested into this, and they were literally like, oh, this is user error. You need to just understand that this isn't going to happen to the product that's going out to the customer. So I got really mad. I talked to the CEO of the company, and I literally said, I am not reviewing your printer. If you guys would like them back, I will send them back. I had all 3 of them, had the boxes and everything. I said, I'll be happy to send them back. And he said, you're paying for shipping and handling. Same thing you just said right there.
Yeah,
and I told
exactly.
him I said, if I don't get shipping labels within 24 hours, these are going out to the curb. These are going to the curb, and anybody can just pick them up.
That's exactly what I said. I was like, fuck that. I am not sending this to China for $15. This is a $19 camera, or this is whatever it was. I'm like, this ain't my fucking fault. This thing sucks. Either A, I post my video that says this is a pile of flaming garbage, or B, you pay to fucking send it back. Or
you know what's sad too is the video that I made that I shot and I laid out to them, like the sample footage that I sent them, was me actually showing people how to correct these problems if they run across them so that the printer will work properly. So I literally was doing their job and QC to prevent returns, and they still weren't okay with that.
Helping them.
Yeah, but the great thing is I did finally release a video a year later of me setting on fire with a flamethrower, so that was pretty
I was going to ask if that was the same printer.
Dude, that triggered their CEO so bad, banned me on Twitter, banned me everywhere, emailed me
I didn't remember that video. I don't remember that now. What about you, Jeff? What have you published or not published?
I have only ever shot and edited one video to completion that I haven't published, and it was actually a camera video. I was reviewing like, what camera do I shoot on right now? And this was kind of early in my YouTube career. This was maybe 6 or 8 months in, and it was right after I'd gotten to Patreon and whatnot. And I was kind of given the progression of like, how did I start my channel and what equipment did I start with and what am I shooting on now? And the whole video ended up being like a monologue of me sounding like a sniveling, whining bitch about needing more hardware. And thank you guys so much for paying for it all.
Like, oh God, this is first world problem.
This is horrible. Yeah, it was literally just like me recording a first world problem video.
You're all like nasally. You're like, I don't like this product. It doesn't work.
My Sony UniX5 just wasn't quite cutting it. So thank you guys so much for buying me an A5100.
The pixel resolution on there
is so much
better. It'd be a great graphics card if it wasn't AMD.
The XAVC codec is so much better because you guys paid for it.
That was that video. It was horrible.
Oh man.
So
okay? How about this? What is the most takes you've ever done for the introduction to a video?
Oh God.
Like,
okay. I'll start off, Jeff. Yeah. I know.
Go for it.
I have spent, usually my videos, like let's say a 13-minute video takes about 20 to 25 minutes because I mess up a lot. I cannot do live TV. I don't know how those fucking wizards do it, but
that's messing up a lot.
I mess up a lot. For me, 13 turns to 25 pretty fucking easily. But I have spent saying, hey, what's up, guys? And I'll go through my whole thing, and then I'll think of something and be like, oh, that's funny. Let's try that. Nope, Jason, you're not funny. Let's try something else. Like I've done that for probably the better part of like 10 minutes sometimes. And it's not all the time. It's very rarely, but I'm trying to come up with a creative, like, okay, everyone knows, let's be real here. We're all YouTubers. There's some videos that you put your heart into and some you don't. Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's the ones you don't put your heart into get the most views, always.
Yeah, exactly. The ones that I put my heart into, I'm like testing new
Jerry,
intros.
it's like you're speaking to my soul right now.
Exactly.
Dude, I think this is a common thing with all YouTubers. If you feel like you're putting your soul into it, it will fail. If you were sitting in front of the camera just bitching about something for 10 minutes and being angry, everybody watches it.
That's the YouTube curse. Thank you very much.
I shot my Wish.com video in 13 minutes. It has 2.4 million views.
Dude, I bitched about Microsoft for like 15 minutes and it got to over 2 million too.
Yeah.
So, that's my city skyline. Like, I'm going to cheat at a game. Oh, 1 million views. What the fuck?
And the hardest video I ever shot was on location with an entire camera crew, and it took an entire day to shoot and 2 days to edit, and it got less views than anything I'd ever previously uploaded to the channel that year.
Well, I've been down that route so many times. Yeah. You try really hard, you fail right on your ass, but that's really like that intro. It's like, and it takes like 10 minutes of a 30-minute, recorded time. Like literally a third of the time.
Miles.
Really?
So my worst video, and it's published. There's a published video, so you can see what the end result is.
Yeah.
Bitcoin video explaining cryptocurrency. It's actually one of my most popular videos. I think it has over a million views. and I explained Bitcoin, basically cryptocurrency mining over the course of about 25 minutes. But I wanted to shoot it as one continuous video. I didn't want any jump cuts, no edits. I wanted to be just straight up face cam, 20. And I didn't realize how big of a task this was when I set off.
That is horrible.
I struggle on 3 sentences.
It took 3 days. 3 days and 107 takes.
Wow.
To get that video. But I got it. And when I finally got it the last time, I seriously stood up and like kicked my desk and screamed so loud my neighbors probably called the cops, because I knew when I said the final word in that video, I was like, oh my God, I just did it. And I was so frustrated, dude. I was like,
the struggle is real. Yeah, I get that 100%. Yeah. Holy crap. I'm like celebrating a fucking paragraph in one fucking sentence. Like,
right. That is my magnum opus of YouTube, though, was that video. Shit. And it's literally titled, hold on, let me see if I find it. How to Bitcoin mine using ASICs. In December. And I don't know what is it? Does it even have? How long to pull and see how many views it has?
That's so it has magic, honestly.
1.6 million views, 25,000 likes, not bad. But the video is 27 minutes long. And there's almost like, I think there might be 2 jump cuts in the entire thing just to pull out a little bit of silence. But I never referenced any material. I never looked at any bullet points, nothing for 27 minutes. I talked about cryptocurrency, how the blockchain works, how cryptocurrency has value, how ASICs work. Like, it was the most technical video I ever shot in like a single take. And when I was done, I was like, why did I try to shoot this as a single take?
Dude, I'm with Jeff on that. I'm gonna fucking bow down, because anything past 3 or 4 sentences in one single motion, I'm just...
I don't do that shit anymore, though. Just to be clear, that was a one and done.
That is a pain in the ass.
Especially something as technical as Bitcoin, because there are some things I will just totally riff on, and it's like, if I'm 90% there, I'm totally good.
Oh,
the problem is in the takes, I'd babble and realize I'm talking about shit for way too long, and then I'd just stop talking. And then I'd be like, throwaway, because I'd forget what I said.
There goes 13 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, my thing is the whole technically correct. I'll start like talking about something like, well, this router has blah, 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 blah. And then I'll stop myself like, wait a minute. Is that right? And then I'll fucking Google it. Oh, you know what? It is right. Okay. So this router has blah, 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 blah. Because if you're fucking wrong, every single person on the internet will tell you about it.
What's frustrating is you'll do one take and you'll go, this router has blah, 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 blah. And you go, wait, does it? And you'll Google it. But you'll stop mid-sentence and go, wait, is that right? Hold on, I need to double check. You'll Google it and you go, yeah, that was right. And then it takes you 14 fucking takes to get it again.
Yeah, right? Exactly. Or you do it right the first time and then you Google it thinking, well, I want to double check myself. But then you don't remember if you did it right the first time. So you do it a fucking again. And then you realize you did it 2 or 3 times for no fucking reason.
It's so bad. I hate it.
And then you go to edit it and your second take was good.
Exactly.
But then I can go live stream for like 4 hours and it's like no problem. And if I make a mistake, I just correct it right on the spot and I don't even think about it. But in the video, for some reason, I can't do that. All it'd be is a jump cut. I could literally just be like, oh, and this NVIDIA processor has an AMD. Oh, shit, that ain't right. Oh, it has an Intel. Oh, shit, that ain't right. Oh, it has an NVIDIA RTX processor on it. And that's just a jump cut. And in the video, all you see is a punch in and it's completely natural. But I can't handle that. My OCD is like, no, I got to do that over again.
But Jerry, I've never done a single punch in. I've never done a single punch in.
Oh, bro, that's like, dude, that is the band.
Never once.
Anytime you're watching my video and you see a punch in, that's like 5 minutes of silence of me taking a shit. Like, literally. I'm like, hey, guys, today we're going to be talking about, okay, go take a shit, drink some coffee.
What's up, guys? Jerry, a.k.a. Barnacules.
Yeah.
Today we're going to be talking about
video card.
That's how I roll, guys. That's how I roll. That's what I love about edited content.
No shame. No shame.
Galactic says punch in wearing different clothes.
I can actually, here, I'll tell you guys another secret. So another shooting secret that I've used for years and years and years that's kind of stuck with me is I say so much inappropriate shit on purpose just to get myself comfortable with the camera.
Yeah.
Like I've shot 800 videos and I still sometimes when I'm talking to the camera, I'll just be tense. I'll be tense depending on if I'm talking about something, how comfortable it is. So I'll just start rattling off the most fucking inappropriate jokes, telling the camera, fuck you, I hate you, camera, flipping off the camera. And it's funny because when I watch it back in editing, it kind of keeps me entertained and engaged while I'm editing the video. But I've had a couple close calls where I've left shit in and it almost made it. Like I literally like checked the video after it uploaded and after a process and was like, oh shit, I gotta pull that out. Like I forgot to jump cut that. So I'm a little more careful now, but you'd be surprised how much that actually helps you stay engaged with editing, especially when you're like me and you're raging ADHD. It's like you see yourself just randomly be like, oh, hey, welcome to today's channel. flip off the camera, throw some shit. You know, it's just then you laugh when you're editing and you're like, this is great, and it keeps you going.
That's totally me because I'm usually like pretty even keeled during most of my videos. I don't get very hot. I don't get very cold. I usually try to be very calculated in my delivery. But if you watch the raw cut, it's me going like saying the same line 7 different times the exact same way and stumbling over the exact same word. And it's
son of a bitch. You're almost
so this router has such and such spec, and it's
and it gets worse as you go too. That's the thing is like as you get frustrated and you get tired. There are no such thing. Single takes are rare though. That's the thing is like they do happen, but they are very rare.
On your take, like I've never done that very like what you just said very specifically, like insult the camera just to feel more comfortable. But now that I think about it, like all my edits, I usually like let's say such and such feature pisses me off. I always say, well, this thing's a ginormous pile of garbage because it's a piece of shit, blah, 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 blah. And then I stop and I say, okay, you know, the more unfortunate thing about this feature, you know, like, so I kind of do what you just said, but just in a different way. Like I vent just so I can get to the point in a more PC friendly.
I will vent it myself and go, God damn it, Jeff, this is not that goddamn hard.
I've done that too, where I just start ripping on myself like endlessly, like, oh my God, you're so fat the camera can't even fit you into view. Move that son of a bitch back.
You dumb son of a bitch. Jason could do a better job.
So my last video, literally cleaning an AC became like one of my most famous videos I've released in the last 2 months. Cleaning an air conditioner, 27 minutes long in the first edit. I gave it to my patrons first. They told me to cut out all but 13 minutes of it. It was a completely different video. Have you ever done that before where it's like you've cut so much out that it completely changes the entire tone of the video, even though you're still using the exact same footage?
I haven't done that, and I think that's because in my head, I pre-script most of my videos. Even if it's not scripted, I know exactly the flow that this video will have.
Not me, man. I am a blank slate. Every video I've ever shot, I just sit there like, durr, and then I turn on the camera and just start babbling.
Yeah. The only time I've had that is like I've made and released extended versions. Like, let's say I'm taking this product, like an IKEA style device that needs fucking assembled, and then here's a product. Like
today we're building a lack rack.
Yeah, like I've had that assembly process that I've cut out that I've uploaded the extended version. Like, hey, if you really want to see how every fucking nut and bolt goes in, here you go. But for the layman, you don't really give a shit. You just want to skip to the end and see what the end result is. So here's this. So that's the only time I've had that where it's like this is going to take too long, or you know, a little time lapse isn't going to really make sense. So I'm going to cut it down shorter. And if you want to see it, here's an option.
I filmed some time lapses, and I've had the time lapses in editing end up being like 7 minutes long. And it's like, well, that's not going to work.
Yeah, exactly. People's attention spans are way lower than that. You know.
Yeah. In the case of the video, I actually hurt my back. Like I hurt my back and I left it in the original video where I literally collapsed carrying like a 150-pound air conditioner like on my shoulder up the stairs, and I just go down and I like let out a retch. And the people on Patreon were like, dude, that made me cringe watching that. Could you maybe cut that out and instead do like Benny Hill music or whatever and speed it up? And so I cut it out, and now it looks like I just run up the stairs like uninhibited with this giant heavy thing on my shoulder. And that's what everybody sees. And it's funny when you watch it, but I'm like, God, it's a good thing I took that out, because I thought that, leaving it in will be more real. Right. But at the same time, it made it seem like me doing this was a pain in the ass and I injured myself really bad and everything. But the other cut was much faster paced, and it focused on what I was doing and not like the injuries that I sustained doing it.
Yeah. So, but on that topic though, like, you remember your fucking ladder video?
Fuck, dude, I took that down, man. That was bringing some bad attention.
Did you?
No, we can talk about it though. I took it down because it was like I could not believe the people that saw that as like an invite, like it chummed the water for people being like, oh man, we can finally get through to him to get him to lose a bunch of weight. We're gonna do it now, you know. And it was like,
here's the thing,
this is the wake up call he needed.
Exactly. Yeah. And I was just like, oh shit.
To support though what you were saying before, as far as what you should show and what you shouldn't show.
Yeah.
Because I saw your face. Like that moment, and I've experienced a very similar moment on myself just when I was driving.
I was scared
shitless. I was having a panic attack. I got diagnosed for panic attacks or whatever, but I've experienced that exact same thing, that exact feeling, right? And I saw that fear in your fucking eyes, and I heard the way your wife reacted to it, And like there was a lot of like, holy balls, that's
well, she saw me pass out before, so she recognized what was happening, and she couldn't catch me. Like there's no way she could have caught me.
Yeah, it was just all you can do is watch. That's all you can do. You know. So I saw that, and to support your previous argument, now like when like your AC unit thing, like during that when you're carrying it up the stairs, I'm like, I gotta admit, part of me's like, Jerry, dude, don't give yourself a heart attack.
Like, what are you doing, bro?
Like,
I literally did hurt my back. Yeah.
I mean, I didn't see you. I didn't know you hurt your back. Stop showing your pussy, Jeff. So I can stop.
I like those hairy pussies. Is that a 70s cat?
It is a Siberian cat.
Circa 1969.
Hey, they did figure out that problem, though. It was a medication that they had me on that I'd only been on for about a month. And it was causing me to have heart arrhythmia that was just rapidly dropping my blood oxygen level. Like it would drop down into low, like 80, 79, 80, which is like stroke territory.
So that was the reason then. It wasn't just like your health
the anxiety definitely makes it like triggers it, but it was the medication. Once they took me off the medication within 5 or 6 days, I haven't had a single moment where I felt like I was going to pass out, like ever since that event. And I had like 7 of those episodes leading up to the ladder, and then I had 2 more after the ladder. And I went in, they did a barium dye study on my lungs to make sure my lungs were okay. Then they did some other study with blood work, and they verified that was fine. But then they witnessed the blood oxygen level actually drop randomly while they had me in the office, because they did a stress test on me where they injected me.
Oh, you did the stress test too?
Yeah.
Did you smell it?
It tasted. No, I tasted it.
You tasted it? I smelled it. I smelled it. It was the weirdest fucking smell ever. It smelled like metal.
No, that's what it was. It was like he's sucking on pennies, man.
Yeah.
So they injected me with the stuff that just makes my heart just go like 180 beats per minute. And then sure shit, I'm like, I'm out. And then they're like, hey, you there? I'm like, yeah. They're like, oh yeah, your blood oxygen, And so they looked at my medications I was on, and they're like, well, this one can technically with this one cause this long shot, but let's take you off it. Never had a problem since. So
nice.
Yeah. So I'm glad they figured that out. But I took that video down because, dude, I couldn't believe how many people were like comment like, oh my God, he faked falling off the ladder for views. I was like, bro, I almost didn't post that.
Dude,
I just been telling people all fake. Day. Yep.
You see that fucking face. That fucking haunted me.
No,
I saw that. I'm like,
scary, dude.
Like, because I went through that shit when I was driving, and I was scared shitless. And like, it caused a big heart study, fucking stress test. Like,
it is the weirdest sensation though, because everything. Yep. So I wonder if your experience was similar. So when I was standing on the ladder, I noticed my heart was racing first. That was the first sign. Is like, I'm having a panic attack and the world's closing in on me, and I'm like freaked out. But then the next thing that I noticed, I started getting a little bit dizzy. And then when I started getting dizzy, I noticed my legs were shaking. And that's when I kind of whimper a little bit, because I'm like, I can't move. I feel almost paralyzed.
Right. Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you just get this ring. It just comes in like this. Like it just looks like a tunnel. And it's like,
like everything is blurred.
Yep.
Like
and you eventually hit a point where you don't give a shit. It is the weirdest thing. Like you go from being the most panicked person ever to like, that you're about ready to pass out and fall off a ladder, and you're just like 0 fucks given. Your body just instantly relaxes. Everything inside of you relaxes. It feels like you just took like anti-anxiety medicine or something.
See, I never hit that point. I never.
Oh, you didn't? Point. For me, I was like, it just washed over me, like just acceptance. I was just like, oh, I'm gonna fucking fall off the ladder.
I went full freak out. What happened to me is I was driving and I felt my heartbeat in my vein and my neck.
Yeah, I did too. Yeah, the jugular. Yeah.
So I turned on my watch for real time, monitoring of my heart rate, and then I saw it was at 140 while I was driving. So that sent me into a panic. So that happened.
Oh God, I'm in a Mustang.
Yeah, I was so worried though, because the area that I was, there was walls. There was nowhere to pull over. So my biggest concern, which is the weirdest fucking thing in the world, was this is the worst place to have a heart attack. Not that I am having a heart attack.
So you literally had an anxiety attack because you were in a place that isn't good to have an anxiety attack.
Exactly. If I would have been in a better place, I would have been like, I can pull over and not inconvenience anybody. But no, I was in the worst fucking place. And I'm like, I don't want to have a heart attack now. This is the worst place to have a heart attack.
My biggest fear was that it was a seizure, though, because my doctor, when I described it to him the first time I went in, he said, "Ooh, this sounds like this could be seizures." And he's like, "They take your license away for that shit." And I was like,
Yeah,
because
I love cars. I don't want to not drive again.
Yeah,
right.
You can give out at any time and just
I'm glad they figured it out, though. I still have anxiety, unfortunately, and random panic attacks, but what they culminated as my heartbeat goes up to like 140, 130, 140, and then what I have to do is just go sit in a dark room or something, or just go chill out. And it'll eventually break and come back down. It doesn't last too long.
No,
and my
they call it
oxygen might get
triggers.
to 92.
They call it triggers. Yeah. My trigger is driving in an inconvenient area to have a heart attack. That's my trigger.
Geez, I hope you avoid that area now.
Every day to and from work.
What you need to do is go to your doctor and ask him to give you a drug called Ativan.
I have Xanax.
Oh, that's actually better than Ativan. Never mind. You're like leveled up.
Yeah, I leveled up to Xanax. Yeah, but it's so
friggin'
weird
Link
because,
opening the chest here.
Yeah, like in the morning, this is the weirdest thing for me because in the morning my anxiety does not fucking exist. I am full zombie mode and I don't give a shit about anything. It's at like evening for some reason I'm more self-aware and I'm like, oh, this place sucks. And I have more anxiety.
Yeah, Xanax is that's a thing, man. Oh my God, you could be like literally world on fire around you. Pop one of those, and 10 minutes later, you're like, oh man, I'm warm.
Yeah, but Xanax makes you tired though.
Yeah, so, and it doesn't last long. That's the reason
only
why I don't
it's only a solid 45 minutes of serenity.
I think people think you take a lot of these drugs because I've had to take and I talk about it publicly. I've had to take oxycodone for almost 11 years now for my back because I have
that lasts for
I have a bone spur.
Minutes.
Yeah, they can't get rid of it, so I'm stuck. Yeah. It's the only thing that I can take that's actually been effective. But it doesn't last long. It doesn't. People it's not like you just take a pill once a day and you're good.
It's not like you're high for 12 hours.
Yeah, no, it's effective for maybe about 3 to 4 hours, and that's about all you get out of it. So it's unfortunate, but it's less than
anyway. You said you've got anxiety. I have anxiety.
It's a requirement of content creators.
It really is. It really is.
Social anxiety. I don't want to go outside my basement.
Yeah, you have to be broken to sit in front of a camera and look for admiration from strangers on the internet. So
exactly.
Basically, it's 100% true.
Yeah, I've got anxiety, but we also discovered I have a heart arrhythmia about 8 years ago or so, and so that was really fun.
Actual arrhythmia.
An actual arrhythmia. Man. Yeah. So that was a lot of fun to find because I drove into work one day and I was just feeling not well. Just in general, I don't feel good. It's not my head. It's not my stomach. It's not my muscles. It's not any. I just don't feel good. But I drove into work and I sit down in my office and I log into my computer and there's a guy sit right behind me. And I guess at one point I was staring at my screen and it's just my blank desktop. Oh, and I don't have anything on it. And I'm just sitting there and I'm just staring at it. And he goes, dude, are you okay? And I went, I don't know. And I guess I turned around and I was like ghost white. And he goes, wow, you don't look well. And I went, I don't feel well. And so I reached for my pulse really quick because it's I feel like I have low blood sugar or something. And so I reached and just started checking my pulse. And it was going bump, 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 bump.
Oh,
yep.
Jeez.
Bump.
That'll freak you out. That'll freak you out right there. Yeah.
Where's the bump? Where's the bump? Where's the bump? Right. There was no middle bump there.
Do you ever feel when it comes back, it's off rhythm too? It feels like it's beating in the wrong direction.
It'll hit a half second too early. What I have is called a preventricular contraction. And so every so often, right, doesn't it? Right. Every so often the bottom chambers of my heart will not fire. And so your top chambers fire and then your bottom chambers fire and your valves close in between and it keeps things moving forward. Well, occasionally my bottom valve or my bottom chamber will not fire and it'll hold there. And then the top chamber will fire again. And then the bottom chamber will fire before the top chamber closes.
Whoa,
and so it'll actually backflow on my system.
That cause your blood pressure to spike really harshly?
It causes it to spike. It can also cause me to black out at random times.
Whoa!
It can cause a lot of different.
Can they treat it? Is there medicine or something?
Avoid that?
Basically, most of the time I'm in rhythm. Most of the time I am in rhythm. It's when I get out of rhythm, I do have a medication I have to take, and I have to go lie down for 30 minutes.
Is that one of those you put underneath your tongue?
Yeah, it's an instant dissolve.
Yeah.
Oh, like lithium or something?
Yeah, basically. But yeah, it was a scary thing the first time I found it. But I've found I've actually lived with it my entire life because I've had a history of blacking out randomly. And most of my doctors always put it up to, well, I'm 6'4" and I'm skinny, and the blood doesn't make it where it needs to go.
Oh God,
that
is horrible. That is horrible.
And so I have memories of being like 12 years old and walking across my parents' room and blacking out against the wall or something like that.
Oh geez.
And coming to like with my head up like this kind of thing.
Yeah, but the problem with that is that when you're younger, you bounce. When you get older, you don't bounce as much.
There ain't no bounce left.
Yeah, there ain't no
ladder
bounce
thing.
left.
That wasn't the only. That happened 7 times in different. That was the most dangerous one. But
really,
my wife didn't want me on the ladder that day because earlier that day I was just walking by the kitchen and I just sat down on the ground and just leaned against the wall and just kind of like checked out, like right in front of her while she was in the kitchen.
What are you doing, bro?
Yeah, she was not happy like with me getting on that ladder from the get-go.
You shouldn't be cleaning fucking gutters, dude.
Well, no, I'm not, even though they found the problem, I'm not going to get up on that because that just reminded me. It's like, if I do slip and fall off that ladder, it's like, that's a lot of mass to hit the ground. And I am 40 years old now. So I'm not invincible like I used to be.
But that's what happened when I saw that video. Like every time, like carrying the AC, I'm like, dude, come on, man. Like don't do that. Like you're trying to make a video or trying to repair this. I'm like, God damn, just don't fucking do it.
Yeah, my wife was railing on me for that one too. She's like, no, dude. I'm like, how else am I gonna get the AC downstairs? She's like, she gave me like 5 different ways I could have done it that were all more viable than how I did it. Yeah. And I was like, no, I'm doing it this way because I was just being really stubborn. So
yeah, I get that though for sure.
Yeah.
We got a couple more donations. Sorry to cut you off. We got one from
Get paid.
Get paid. Get money. Get paid.
So when am I getting my half of that check, Jason?
Never.
No, he told me I was getting your half, dude. That's how he got me on here.
Oh.
We got the truly insane one. Jerry scared the hell out of me when he was on the ladder. Glad he's okay. I love these types of chats.
Yeah, the comments on that video showed 2 classes of people. People that were really worried that I almost died, and people that were like, you're fatty McFat tits and you should kill yourself. Those were the 2 ranges of comments and why I took
What's
that video
funny
down.
is there's no in between. There's no like, you should have known better and I'm glad you're okay. It was, I hope you die, or man, you should get help.
Exactly. The internet is very, very clearly picking sides.
Yeah, that's the internet for you, though. Like, that's just the way the internet works. It's crazy. I saw that, and I just kind of like, I related. It hit really home for me because I knew that I went through the whole thing when I was driving.
Yeah, I got quite a few emails from that one from people that were like, it gave them like PTSD, and I was like, yeah, I got to take this video down.
It gave me a little PTSD because, like I said, I had that experience when we found out I had my arrhythmia, where I drove into work and I was feeling just fine, and all of a sudden I'm laying on a stretcher. You know, and I'm being driven to the hospital at code.
I stopped driving for the whole week that this kept happening. I stopped driving. My wife even was the one that took me to both of the doctor's appointments because I was really afraid to get into my Subaru and go driving around. The
anxiety from that fucks you up even worse.
Yep.
Like,
the warning is so small too. It's like from the time that I started like losing it on the ladder to the time where I checked out for a second. I mean, it seemed like it was like that to me. Like watching the video, it seemed like there was a little bit more time that passed. But for me, it was like, I'm cleaning the gutters. Oh God, my heart feels like it's going to blow out of my chest. Uh-oh. Woo! You know, and I'm like, oh God, if I was driving my car like down the freeway, you can't slam on the brakes fast enough.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, oh geez. So yeah, I was still, even after they took me off the medicine, I was pretty apprehensive about driving. Like I just stuck around my house and like went around the block a couple times. It was bizarre. It took me a long time to get comfortable again behind the wheel.
Are you on a heart rate medicine right now?
Right now I'm on a blood pressure medicine because they did notice that I have it's not super bad. It's like 130, I think, over like 80, but they said it was significant enough to need maintenance. But I do have, when I have the anxiety attacks, I do have blood pressure spikes up to like 160, 180. Ooh, and they don't last that long, but that's still, they consider that a pretty dangerous area.
Yeah.
So they also gave me a beta blocker that I can use in an emergency. So like if I'm having a super anxiety attack, like the world's blowing up around me and there's nothing I can do, I can take this beta blocker and it'll like for six or 8 hours, it'll keep my heart rate down around 120.
So that was one of my main things was getting on a beta blocker. Like I have really good, this is the weirdest thing too, because I have the worst fucking diet ever, but I have really good blood pressure.
No.
No, seriously. Like, I know. But they're like, your blood pressure's good, your cholesterol's good, all your numbers are good, but you have a super high heart rate. So it's something called tachycardia.
Tachycardia.
Yeah, tachycardia. Yep. So they put me on a beta blocker to keep me in that 60 to 70 range. But I was used to running 90, like just idling. Like,
Dude, I
was
run 90
fucking
to 100 idling all the time, regardless.
I have the
if
opposite
block or
problem. I run low. I've taken my own pulse at 39.
not. That's
What?
crazy. Dude.
What?
Dude,
That's
you should
dead.
do those.
That
you
is
should do those things
dead.
where you hold your breath underwater. You know those guys that
Holy
hold the breath for like
shit.
20
Oh no,
minutes?
I know. No, I have the exact opposite problem. I average about 55 when I'm sitting
Dude.
here.
That's crazy.
That
My
is
wife's the
dead.
same way. Yeah.
Yeah, but no, I have used a heart rate monitor on myself and read 39 consciously. I'm
Dude,
awake
that's
and I'm
crazy.
taking my heart rate and it's
Wow.
39.
I would be dead. Like, so
Yeah.
I was at 90. They were like, dude, you need to be 60, 70, maybe 80 when you're
Yeah.
idling. So they gave me this, like, beta blocker to calm me down. And I went through this phase of a month where I felt like I was fucking dying because my heart rate was lower. I was at like 64
Yeah.
sitting in an office chair, but I felt like I was dying because I wasn't at 90. I was used to 90.
Oh yeah,
So-
the beta blockers make you feel really faint. Like
Yeah.
you feel like
Exactly.
flush.
You feel like you're on the
Yeah,
edge
it's
of blacking
fucking
out for about
weird.
3 months.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like you kind of have a tingly pinky.
Yep.
in
That
the
tunnel
left.
is sitting right
It's in
about
the left.
here.
Yeah,
is what it is.
Exactly. Crazy shit. Crazy fucking. The heart is crazy.
I've had some pretty crazy experiences where they were dialing those medications.
Yeah, we saw
Like I've
the
had the
ladder
medication where they
video.
gave me too much. Like the first time that they put me on the beta blocker, they gave me too much. And they're like, oh, take 2 of these pills or whatever, and it should kick in about a half an hour. And I go look in the mirror, and it's like all the colors out of my face. I'm taking my
Drooping
blood
on one
pressure. My
side.
blood
Yeah,
pressure's
blue
like
lips.
100 over like 40. And I'm like, uh-oh, that's too much. And then you have to lay flat because if you sit up, you just get dizzy. So you're just like
Right.
laying down, waiting for this beta blocker to leave you after 6 hours. But they got it all dialed in now, though. But they never said my pulse was a problem. Like my pulse is, I sit at about 90 resting pulse, and they said, oh yeah, no, that's perfectly fine as long as your blood pressure isn't super duper high.
Right.
And my blood pressure's only been a problem since they operated on the blood clot. I had a blood clot in my chest that was caused by one of the return veins that comes in through my arm, and it was making my whole arm turn purple. They operated on it for a couple of days. Ever since they did that, my blood pressure's been up like 20 points. And
Wait,
I don't
been
know if it's
up
just
since that.
yeah, it went up. It went up.
Really?
So, and I think it's because they put me
Wow.
on blood thinners for a year, and the
Yeah.
blood thinners caused my my blood pressure to kind of drop. And then when they took me off the blood thinners, since my body had adjusted to it, then my body went the other direction when my blood viscosity went back up again.
Wow.
So yeah, I had to be on blood thinners though, because they said that clot, like if that thing, breaks free, it can like get into your brain, it can get into your lungs and suffocate
Yep.
you and stuff. And it kept forming. They
Yeah,
took
give
it
you
out
a
3
stroke
times and it
and
just
all
came
that.
right back. So they're
Yeah.
like, but now they after a year of taking the thinners and them noticing that there was no new clotting anywhere else, and then this one was so clot that like it didn't even work anymore, so it created another vein that went around it. My body just was like, oh, I'm gonna grow another vein.
Yeah.
So now they're
I
like,
didn't
oh
know
no,
that
it's
was
cool.
possible.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I thought that the veins that you had were the veins you have, but apparently
Yeah,
if you get
I
a
didn't know
clot,
it could
it will
grow
try
anyway.
to root around it.
You're like a fucking lizard right now.
I am, dude.
Growing
It's like,
fucking new tails and shit. What the fuck? Where's the video on that, Jerry? What the
Yeah,
fuck? I want to see your veins grow, damn it.
Are these the lizard people the politicians always warn me about?
Zuckerberg. He is a total
Dude.
fucking lizard person.
dude, he's a lizard. He's like a lizard in Data, like had
Dude,
a really
that guy-
romantic night.
Thank you! Thank you! Yes! Yes!
He's like
A
if
lizard
Data was on
fucked
V.
Data.
Remember that TV
Thank
show
you.
V? It's like it's
Oh,
literally
no.
he's like,
Oh
I don't
God!
remember that one.
Wow, that one takes me back.
yeah, I just dated us all right there.
Yeah.
if you know what I'm talking about.
I don't know what
ABC's
that is.
V.
I don't know what that is at all.
Just
I
too
feel
young.
bad.
You just you and your 28.8 modem. Yeah, this would have been pre 28.8, bro.
Yeah.
I remember Thunder in Paradise with Hulk Hogan.
I do remember that. Yeah, Tropic Thunder. Yeah,
Trop-
that was
yeah.
great. I love Tropic
Yeah.
Thunder.
Yeah.
was back before
the
Hulk
earliest
Hogan was
memory I
crazy.
have. Yeah. He was still fucking
He
rich
was
as
pretty
shit
crazy.
though.
He
Yeah,
was
he was still Hulk Hogan.
dude, he's
All
like
right.
rich as hell now. Did you
So
see
we-
that? Like he won a lawsuit against
He
some
lost
tabloid
half
media
of
for
his
like
money to his wife, his ex-wife.
Yeah,
Oh,
but he got
before or after the suit.
no
Before.
right before the suit. Yeah, he lost half of his
Yeah.
money, but no, it was Gawker Media, I guess, posted
Yeah.
a sex tape of him, and
Yeah, he got like
ended up-
$100 million or something.
He
What?
basically owns Gawker Media now.
Yeah,
What? I didn't
Yeah,
know
because
that.
they
won it.
they could
He did,
they
though.
couldn't cover the lawsuit, and so basically they had to go bankrupt or sign it over to him. And I don't
Oh
know how
my
that ended, but yeah,
I
Gawker
did not
Media,
know
which
that.
is like Gizmodo
Yeah.
and all those sites, that's basically his property.
yeah.
Wow. I
The
didn't
judge
know that.
ruled in his favor for $100 million, and they're like, our company isn't even worth $100
Yeah, our
million.
company's worth
So they're
like 40, and they said,
Yeah, there
well,
you
I
go.
guess you're signing over rights.
Yeah, or you're going bankrupt, bitch.
Right.
And what
Yeah.
now?
Yeah, I remember seeing on the news. They said it was one of the biggest settlements that any celebrity has ever received.
Good for him.
Any
Good
lawsuit.
for fucking him. Hell yeah. Good for him.
Because it's also Jalopnik is under that wing. And there's a couple
Really?
others. Yeah, Jalopnik is
that's big,
is a Gawker site, right?
Oh my God, Hulk Hogan's just sitting there like, ha 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 ha.
Right.
And they thought I'd never amount to anything, and all I needed was one hidden camera.
Yeah, brother.
Yeah, but no, that was big news when that went down. Was all the affiliate companies going, how do we protect what's ours, and how do we keep going? And we've got 20 employees, and what the hell do we do?
See, I only remember the fucking divorce where he basically lost everything, and she was like fucking the pull boy or some shit.
It was his daughter's friend. Wasn't it?
Like something like that. It was something
really
crazy.
weird.
Like she's like fucking the pool boy driving around in the yacht. Like, this is your yacht, bitch. I'm fucking this dick. You know, like, what the hell? Like, this is savage right now.
Anytime there's a reality TV show about a family, like everything goes wrong.
Yeah.
Could you think of like one reality TV family that isn't like completely just like separated right now and all at each other's throats?
Honestly, I hate reality TV, so I can't really think of reality TV families.
I hate to miss it. Oh no, I'm just kidding. I'm not that bad.
I really do despise reality TV in general. It's pretty bad.
It's not real. There's no such thing.
You
can't capture reality because once you have a camera in somebody's face, they're never gonna act natural.
I don't know if you guys know
poison.
I don't know if you guys know, but 23 and a half out of 24 hours, I'm boring as fuck.
Well, like, I know that.
No one wants to watch me.
You're boring as shit.
Not me. I'm always this way, man. Just ask my wife. Yeah. I actually settled down in front of the camera.
Yeah.
All right,
I believe, Jerry.
Adderall's a hell of a drug, guys.
Yes,
hell of a drug.
So the last thing I want to ask before we close out this video, because I know we've been dragging you along, Jerry.
Yeah, my wife's like, dinner's ready. I'm like, hey.
Yeah, I've had two, like, we're having burgers. Are you going to eat with us?
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff to go to. So to tackle this before we end this video, there's rumors of an RTX 3080 Ti and its performance. There's also the announcements of the Vega Pro graphics card that, you know, like there's a bunch of rumors.
Well, nobody cares about that one, though.
Yeah.
Ooh.
My question is,
as a dual GPU owner, maybe you have an opinion on that one.
Oh, wait, okay.
That's my
question.
Tell me
more.
Okay,
from a content producer standpoint.
Okay,
too.
So I don't know if you read too much into the Vega Pro announcement. But the Vega Pro is basically the release of what the Mac Pro got for graphics in their Vega Pro Duos, which is the dual 7 nanometer Vega based GPUs. So think two Vega 64s at 7 nanometer, but with Infinity Fabric linking them together. So not Crossfire, but Infinity Fabric, meaning they can share.
Same thing they're using on their CPUs, right?
Same thing they're using on their CPUs, which means they can now share cache and they can share memory controllers. Which means rather than a 16 and a 16 going together as far as memory pools, you now have a single 32 with just cores on two different dies.
Yeah,
and it's the same thing that NVIDIA does with NVLink on their server side, where the system sees one single GPU rasterization or compute unit, even though there's 12 GPU cores on there.
Yeah, rather than a parity of GPUs.
Right, and that's something that consumer GPUs have never gotten. We've always gotten SLI, which is like, I'll kind of share with you, but really I'm going to do
they
my
have to
own
mirror
thing.
the resources, so you really only get about half of most of the resources.
So your GTX 690 still only have 2 gigs,
and you still only divide the load as fast as SLI will allow the cards to. Yeah,
as fast as the link will go. Right.
Yeah.
This is Infinity Fabric linking the two caches together, and so they can see what the other GPU die is doing, and then start rendering the next frame, and so on and so forth. And actually, in their press materials, they say Crossfire is dead. Long live Infinity Fabric. And so they're actually touting this is going to be aimed at consumers at some point. Now, at the moment, it's only available in the Vega Pro card. But as we all know, a lot of this technology does eventually trickle down. And assuming it doesn't die like SLI or what was that, the Liquid VR API that AMD tried to start, which was dual eye rendering for VR that no one ever adopted.
I haven't even heard of that, so that's new to me. But okay.
Well, I bought into that one with a pair of RX 480s to run VR, and what I got was a single RX 480. if this technology hits, may we see a resurgence of dual GPU setups? Because at the moment they're dead. They've been dead for 5 years. There's been
outside of like workstation and rendering and stuff like that using NVLink. I mean, SLI was the gaming potential. NVLink is more for the professional application.
Yeah, but NVLink, I mean, it still doesn't scale proportionally with like something like Adobe Premiere. Like if you add two GPUs, you don't get twice the performance.
You get 1.4.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah, you get 1.4. So that's my thing. It's like, is it really going to be worth the hype if you're only gaining 1.4?
And plus the link is only like at its fastest if you're using like a Titan X or something like that. It's or Titan RTX. If you use like a 2080 Super, you get like half the bandwidth or whatever on NVLink. It's like the way they did that was really, really bizarre. And it is fast.
You run 2070s, right? 2070 Supers?
Me or
you?
I got 2080 Supers.
You have 2080 Supers.
2080 Supers.
I was thinking you had 2070 Supers, but
their naming conventions all screwed up at NVIDIA. Like, I don't understand how a card called 2080 Super is like half as fast as one that's called TI. I know,
right?
Like, it never used to be like that with the previous versions. Like, TI was a little bit faster. Now it's like
Pro.
Yeah, so now TI is Titan, and Titan is like not Titan, but like two Titans. It's so confusing.
Jerry, you remember where Apple was in like late 1998 when Steve Jobs came back and he goes, "Why do you have 7,000 SKUs to your name?
Exactly.
Reduce it to 12 and then figure out what you do well and build up from there." That's where NVIDIA is
smaller
at right
hardware
now.
matrix, smaller software, less bugs, more performance.
That's exactly right. That's what NVIDIA needs to do right now because there's no reason in the world. And I covered this with Pascal, and Turing is even worse.
Holy shit, I agree.
Because at one point, I think I counted like 33 unique consumer SKUs for Pascal, ranging from the GT 1030 up to the 1080 Ti and beyond. And it's like, dude, you need to consolidate because as a reviewer is starting to get confused by some of your naming conventions. And then
plus your driver has to be like 500 megabytes because
you have so many
unified driver architecture.
Exactly.
Yeah. And you have so many SKUs and so many different market SKUs because we have GTX 1065 gig SKUs and GTX 1053 gig SKUs and you have a
2050 Super, 2050 Ti, 2050 Ti Super Pro, Ti Pro Extreme.
I don't even try to keep up with it. Like,
what the fuck is going on right now? Give me like three options.
There's not a reason you need to corner the market in a product every $20 of the stack. There's just none.
Like I want the ones that are
bigger numbers are slower than the smaller numbers, and that drives me crazy.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
A 2070 Super is faster than a 2080. It's like, come on.
Like,
I want the poor people, the people that don't look at the prices of gas, and the people that buy gold fucking watches. Like, I want three options, Like, I don't need fucking every little micro interval, like fucking whatever bullshit. Like, that is just annoying as shit to me.
Yeah. That's where NVIDIA's at right now is they need to reduce their SKU count. They need to reduce their product stack. They need to consolidate their naming scheme for God's sakes, because they're even in their professional stack, there was Grid, there was Tesla, there was, you go down the list of everything that they've offered and there's so many interweaving SKUs as far as what features this product stack has. It's like, get your name straight first off, and then deal with whatever your product is going to be. I can
solve the problem. I can solve it right now. All they have to do is just name all their cards after how many frames per second they get in Crisis.
There you go.
That's it. That should be the naming convention for everything. Be like the Titan 63.5. It's like that's exactly how many frames per second you get in Crisis.
And it just like stops the internet in its tracks.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about it. And then if you have a firmware update that updates it, then you can technically call your card the bigger name.
You're the Titan 65.2.
No, it's the 65 exactly. And it has it has a little LCD screen on the side of the card that just updates. Frames per second based on
dynamic product naming. I like it.
There you go. That's the future. We should patent that shit.
We should.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and cut this off. I don't want to keep you guys away from your food. I know that we've been kind of.
I can smell the burgers, and I'm downstairs now.
I know. I don't want to string this out. I know that you guys need to get to your whole family business and food business.
Man. I was gonna check out in 15 minutes, and I stayed. So
I'm gonna be honest with you. I got a hot pocket up in the freezer that's got my fucking name on it right now, and I'm fucking.
Is that a euphemism for something, or you actually?
It's a straight up hot pocket. It's a mozzarella pizza cheese.
Because I've heard tales of hot pockets over on the Byte My Bits Discord.
I'm just saying, a minute 30 and that shit feels real.
Well, I have a hot pocket waiting downstairs too, and her name's Miss Barnacules. So I gotta get after that.
Well, thank you, Jerry. Again,
best of luck to you both.
I know I kind of begged you to come to this live show, so I really do appreciate you showing up, bro.
No, this was fun.
It's been
This is
awesome,
fun. I had a good time.
So I appreciate it, man. Jeff, thanks for hosting me, and you guys have been awesome. So thank you guys for joining. Everyone out there, like and subscribe below to Barnacules. He needs to hit 1 million. Like, no doubt. Like, it's been way too fucking long. Hit a fucking million.
The hell with Jeff's channel. Go subscribe to Barnacules.
Yeah, subscribe to
I
Barnacules.
want to hit 1 million by 2025 or bust.
No. By the end of the year, he's hitting a fucking million. So let's get Barnacules on 1 million.
Hey, Jerry, should we put a bet on who makes it there first, you or me?
Ooh, that's a
Ooh,
good
that's-
one because
that's
I've been
cool.
passed by people before.
Dude,
We're like at 1 sub. So
I am 1,100 subs away from 100K. So I've been working towards this for like fucking 6 years. I can taste it.
the first
I'm
100K
so
is the
excited.
hardest. After that, you just coast, dude. You're
But
fine.
I've been waiting for the 100K for so
I'm not
long,
even to
man.
my 3-year mark yet.
Jeff cheated, so
I
he
did.
bought his
I
subs.
really cheated.
By the way, I was going to ask you, Jeff, how much was your subscribers, and did you write those off as a business expense?
I wrote them off as advertising. Yes,
Okay, that's what I
absolutely.
thought. You
Yeah.
just went to YouTube.
Bot farms are way cheaper than you think they are these days.
Yeah.
Jerry can probably attest to that with all the ASIC stuff going on.
Hey, bots are cheap.
Bots
Bots
are
are
cheap.
cheap. I've seen
Bots
the
are
people on
cheap.
Twitter that have a big following these days. Bots are cheap.
Bots are cheap.
Bots are cheap. Well, guys, thank you again for coming on my channel. Jerry, awesome. Thank you. I'm sorry for begging you so much, but you're awesome. Jeff, sorry for trolling you so much, but hopefully you enjoy the beer that I sent you an apology.
What goes around comes around, my friend.
Hey,
And next time I
deserve
may even come
everything.
over to your channel because you actually do have more subs than him. So that I made
do,
the wrong
I
choice.
do.
there.
Yeah,
I really
he's,
made the wrong
he's the
choice.
bigger player here. You kind of made the wrong choice, Jerry.
I did. I should have done my
What's
research
wrong
and I
with you,
didn't,
bro?
and I'm paying for it now. I understand.
Tell you what, we'll get you on mine in a month or two. How's that?
All right, sounds good.
I'm a little let
It's a
down
date.
about Linus LTX 2020 because I was going to harass you again.
I'm happy
That's a
because I get
little
to attend virtually now because I was on the fence about whether or not I was going to get the time off to go up there.
Yeah.
But now I can just remote in and zoom in and do whatever the hell they're going to do. So
Well,
yeah.
I'm
I
happy
get to
because got
I
a
get to
refund.
attend now.
Yeah,
All
I
we
get a
have to do,
refund.
guys, let's all get coronavirus. I think I already had it for the last 12 days. Let's all get coronavirus.
didn't.
I
All get our
know
antibody
Jason had
test.
it.
Then we can all hang out. We can all hang out because we can all be just well, it's like a corona party.
That's right.
We'll get
Yeah,
some
I
coronas
know
online
I
and
had
have a
it.
corona party.
I know
Yeah.
Jason had it, and I was with Jason within his incubation period. So we were doing a live stream together at the same table. So
I'm
If I
pretty
get the
sure-
antibody test that said I had it, I'm unleashing myself on the world.
yep.
So
I'm pretty sure you're an asymptomatic carrier, Jeff.
Yeah, I guarantee I am because that's
I
just
know you were.
usually who I am.
That's
I couldn't
without a
breathe for
question.
12 days, so I either had
Yeah.
that or the worst bronchitis I've ever had. So
Yeah.
Yeah, but Jerry, you could fucking catch a code from a squirrel
that is true.
4
I do
miles
have the
away.
weakest immune system ever. Like I had a guy who had
Yeah.
leukemia once laugh at me and shame me for my immune system, and I was
Yeah.
like, "That is not cool."
Like
It's not
you're the
You
worst.
have no white blood cells left. What are you laughing at, Jackass?
like if I sneeze in Kansas, you'll get fucking sick. So
People call me Bubble Boy all the time. It's hilarious.
dude, I like it, Bubble Boy. That's for sure.
Anyway, let's all definitely talk. Jerry, I'd love to build you
Yeah.
a server sometime. You're right. You're like you said, you're my neighbor. Let's do something.
Yeah, I didn't realize you were so close,
Let's
man.
call back on
Yeah.
that free NAS thing. I really think
Yep.
that we should work out a free NAS / maybe Western Digital sponsorship
Yeah.
because fuck Seagate.
I got
Those fuckers.
Seagate contacts. Don't throw me to the wind.
I'll tell you what. Let me
build
review
a
the
server.
Synology first because I got to
go.
do that because they sent that to me like 4 months ago.
Oh,
So
you
I
got a Synology?
Yeah.
A new one?
Yeah, I got a new one.
nice.
The 12 bay. Yeah, 12
Yeah,
bay.
it
Oh,
only
nice.
took me like 15 days to make a video, but apparently,
No, for me, I like to do a thorough job, so I usually wait
Okay.
about 6 months, and then
I
I
just
don't
yell
know. I
about
look up
shit.
some stats on their webpage and then just talk for like 3 hours.
you wait for other YouTube reviews.
That's why all his videos
what
are
I
off
do.
the cuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I knew that.
yep. I try to wait for the latest firmware so that I have something unique.
Jerry, chapter 1, installing your new Synology NAS.
Yeah.
I'm never
All right.
making a video over 10 minutes again. I'm sick of trying so hard. The harder you try, the further you fall.
Well, both of you guys have a good night. Thank you guys for joining, and I hope to talk to you guys later. Maybe we can do another one. So
Yeah, this was fun. I'd do it again.
Awesome.
thanks, guys. You have a good one.
Later, all.
And there we have it, guys. That is it. Holy balls! I don't have a clip of just me, so you're just gonna have to deal with this. Wow, that was awesome. hanging out with Barnacules, hanging out with Jeff. That was super fucking fun. So guys, thank you guys for joining. I super appreciate it. Thank you for all of the donations. Wow, everything sounds completely different when you don't have headphones on. So thank you guys all for joining. Like and subscribe below. And have yourself a great night.